each and every Tuesday at 9 a.m.
Every Wednesday, it's all about The Viewpoint.
A day in politics is like 1,000 years.
Unpacking the biggest stories of the week, getting you insights and getting you ready for your day.
And the package is not yet done. I get to fix your Thursday with some entertainment. Entertainment Thursday, it is.
Good morning, Kenya.
We shape your day.
Good morning, Kenya. Every weekday morning on KBC Channel 1.
Differently. Not have a special society, so it has to start with us.
We still have a large number of people who doesn't know the rights of persons with disability. We still have a large number of people who are not exposed. Parents and guardians, they are still hiding persons with disability.
Nimekuwa na challenge moja tu ya kumpeleka shule. Juu shule yenye ameitwa ni huko Kilimani. Ukimpeleka shule za huku wanakuambia wataki mtoto haoni. Juu ati tukimweka huko kwa class ni kumpotezea wakati.
We want to get rid of those areas and the normal way people look at people with disabilities, the way they judge them.
Differently.
Faith versus ambition. When do I know when I'm overstepping? When do I know when I'm going too far?
People believe so long as I prayed, God will do everything.
Yeah.
No, prayer is like a boardroom meeting with God. So the guy who is doing things without God can get results but not get peace.
Okay.
The guy who's not doing anything but believes in God will be frustrated and will actually suffer depression. Our God is faithful, our God is loving, our God wants you to succeed. But over and above, our God wants us to be productive.
My other talent is dancing, modeling. I also play ice hockey and roller hockey, and I also play golf and tennis. My future plan is to be a doctor and a Miss Universe, and in skating I would like to be a coach and train those kids who want to skate.
Mama's porridge is sweet.
Today I'm going to show you how to make a grilled cheese sandwich and tomato soup.
Today I'm going to teach you how to make a toilet roll sheet.
Mama's porridge is sweet.
Tahia zile nguo.
Alizipenda. Kwanza anataka hivyo vipande 12. Kwa hivyo tuvitenge.
Ewe. Umefuata nini hapa?
Sijui kama ni pendo ama ni mambo mengine, lakini hatutamruhusu kufanya hivyo kamwe.
Basi huyu ni walangu. Kuna mtu yeyote atakayejaribu kunitenga nalo, basi hataona raha.
Wanipa vitisho ama wajaribu kunifokea?
Si hivyo.
Conversation about changing systems, rebuilding dignity, and of course, proving that there definitely is life beyond the bars.
Shock on me. This officer says to me, I'm actually here to arrest you. From that point on, the wrongful prosecution begins. I am a convicted felon in this country. The friends I had, all the contacts, everyone has disappeared. So reality checks in. And it's a very harsh reality. Poverty does not equate criminality. So let us change that in this country and see to it that the opposite of justice is not inequality.
Cranes are birds found all over the world. In Japan, they are regarded as auspicious creatures that symbolize longevity. And because cranes mate for life, they also represent eternal love. Izumi is a city in Kagoshima in southern Japan. Every year from October to December, over 10,000 cranes migrate here from the continent to spend the winter. As many as 7 of the world's 15 species of crane have been observed migrating here. The most common type is the endangered hooded crane. Over 80% of the world's hooded cranes spend the winter in Izumi. The next most common type is the white-naped crane, also an endangered species. About 40% of all white-naped cranes migrate here. Since ancient times, the people of Izumi have encouraged these birds to visit in various ways. After the main August rice harvest, farmers plant a second crop. This becomes food for the cranes. The birds have plenty of food, a safe place to rest, and people won't harm them. All these factors make Izumi an ideal wintering ground. After the rice harvest, the paddy fields are flooded again to let the cranes rest. And nets block the glare from car headlights to allow the birds to sleep in peace. In recent years, to help prevent avian flu, food is scattered in patterns that separate the birds. We used to just dump all the food on this road, so the birds clustered together to eat. Now we use tractors to spread it as widely as possible, which keeps the cranes apart. Thanks to these efforts by local people, Izumi has become an environment where cranes can safely spend the winter. Tourists flock to Izumi to see its famous cranes every winter. They're taught about the birds by young guides who are volunteers from local elementary schools. Cranes are like us in many ways. They're intelligent and like to keep themselves clean. Izumi City organizes annual guide certification tests. These elementary school students are well informed to talk about the cranes to tourists. I don't think there is another place in the world where so many cranes come. It's important to protect these wonderful cranes and make sure they do not become extinct. Izumi is a vital wintering site for cranes. Thanks to the long-term efforts of the people living here, this year once again we'll be able to see these magnificent birds.
It's decision time in 22 electoral areas. 6 of them are in the National Assembly, 1 of them in the Senate, and about 15 in county assemblies, or what you would say members of the county assemblies. We are casting our eyes on all the 22 electoral areas, but most importantly, the 6 are in the National Assembly, and of course 1 in the Senate, and that one is in Baringo County, or Benchumba. Yes, we also have our eyes in Magarini constituency. You remember that happened after the nullification of the win of ODM's candidate, or rather the person who had actually won in 2022. We have our eyes in Banisa. Adan Mohammed Ibrahim is also in Banisa. You remember the Member of Parliament died in a nasty accident. We also have the Kasipul by-election. Kasipul is in Homa Bay. That happened just less than 6 months ago after the death of the Member of Parliament killed in a gun incident in Nairobi. We also have our eyes in Ugunja. Simon Achola is in Ugunja. And you remember again that seat became vacant after the appointment of Opio Wandai to the position of Cabinet Secretary for the post of Energy. You also have our eyes in Bere North. Of course, that's a battleground, and that obviously happened after the appointment of Geoffrey Rocco as the Cabinet Secretary for Public Service. In Baringo, the late Senator William Cheptumo died, and of course occasioning a by-election there. That's where our eyes really are focused entirely in this period. And I'm joined in studio by 2 guests. Of course, we expect a few others to join us throughout the course of this interview. But I have Dr. Isaac Hassan, who is a political and governance expert. And we also have Dr. Alphonse Kanga, the chairperson of the NCCK Nairobi region, joining us on set. Karibuni sana, gentlemen.
Asante. Thank you.
You're very much welcome. We'll be linking up, of course, with our reporters who are on the ground, and a little bit again we shall be looking at the profile of some of these constituencies and how many voters you expect to turn out, although there is already a reported cases of what you would call a low voter turnout in some of these areas. But first of all, let's set the context for this, even before we speak to our reporters on ground. Dr. Isaac, can we say then IEBC is ready? Since the exercise has already begun in most of the areas, have we seen preparedness of the IEBC being reflected in the exercise so far?
According to the arrangement that we see, IEBC has prepared themselves. Of course, in such a complex situation where we deal with politics of superiority and who is who, you will find quite a number of challenges. But I see, according to the IEBC officials, particularly the commissioners, I saw Commissioner Hassan Nur Hassan, who went to Banisa, confirming that his troops and team are completely prepared for the by-election. I saw another commissioner in Mbere declaring the same. And of course, the chair of IEBC also warning Kenyans and electoral officials, as well as voters and other people who are engaged in the same process, that IEBC will be free and fair elections that they will going to conduct, and he will not going to entertain anything regarding violence, and people should adhere to the rules and regulations of electioneering process. So when you see such a thing, the only thing we can say is that perhaps everybody's on the ground, everybody has been prepared for the day, and we know very well today is the day that we will be in a position to say, yes, the new commissioners of IEBC have prepared themselves very effectively and delivered free and fair election in a very democratic environment. These are the things that Kenyans are looking forward to. One may ask, what will be the key lessons that we will learn from these by-elections in regards to the election officials? I think we must acknowledge that the election officials, particularly commissioners, are new. And this is the time they must prove to Kenyans that indeed they are prepared for 2027 election.
All right. Hold that up.
Yeah.
We'll pick it up from there. Because I forgot to mention actually that Malava, we also have a by-election in Malava. That obviously occasioned by the death of Malulu Injendi, the immediate former member of parliament elected on a UDA ticket. And then, of course, there is quite a host of candidates who are seeking to succeed him in today's mini polls. And right about now, Timothy Kipnusu joins us on set from Malava constituency. Timothy, good morning. Give us a quick update regarding what is happening there. There appears to have had some fracas in the morning. You can tell us whether the situation has cooled down in the constituency. Kipnusu?
Yes, very good morning to you, my colleague John Jacob Kioria, the Broadcasting House. Just as you've mentioned, there have been a fracas, a bit of violence witnessed in a number of polling centers. We just came from one of the polling centers in Chekulo ward, that's Butali Chekulo ward, and that is one of the strongholds of the DAP candidate Seth Panyako, and a number of course, one car was burnt, and earlier on he had made a serious allegations in the morning after casting his vote in Lunyu Primary School in his ward, that is Manda Shivanga ward. And the allegations, of course, it's on one of the stories that we have covered, allegations concerning voter bribery, and of course saying that his life is in danger. There was an attempt to assassinate him. That is something that we cannot say, we cannot verify. We will be able to get the authorities concerned to give us an update. Of course, we also visited his premises. His premises was vandalized by unknown people. But where we are right now, my colleague John Jacob Kioria, is Mutingongo Primary School, which is in Chemuche ward, which is one of the wards among the 7 wards spread across the Malava constituency, where the Malava residents are exercising their democratic right. 94,417 registered voters as per Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. And just a few minutes ago, one of the aspirant, the Kenya Moja aspirant, that is Wilberforce Andai Tuve, actually casted his vote, and just want to get his sentiments on how he felt on the process. Just come closer here. Are you satisfied so far with how the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission are conducting this process? Any hitches that you've witnessed? I understand that you've been able to be in different polling centers.
I think from yesterday I raised some concerns, and I mentioned that IBC should know that election is a process, and it doesn't only happen on the material day when a voter comes out to vote. The process should have been free and fair, but even from yesterday when I had an interview with you guys, I mentioned about the candidate who is perceived to be the government kind of being allowed even to campaign outside the window that has been allowed for campaigns to go on, distributing mattresses at TTI in Shamberere, handing out people money. So I think if you ask me about the fairness of the process that Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission is conducting, I think the process is not fair. Secondly, I've moved around. In most polling stations, it's fairly okay. Voters are coming out to vote for their preferred candidate. But in some areas, we have seen blatant bribery. And it's unfortunate. They're using the provincial administration, the chiefs and the assistant chiefs. In an area like Maira, people are bribing. Live bribery is in there, and I suggest you go there and verify for yourselves. You go to Shamberere, St. Gerald there's blatant bribery going on by assistant chiefs and chiefs. And I think this is the most unfortunate things in this unfortunate thing coming out of this country where our democracy has reached. People should be allowed to vote for their preferred candidate. Yeah.
We've come to this particular area, and the roads are very dilapidated, and I'm concerned about the West Cabras Sugar Company, which is located just a few meters from here. What is happening? And the leaders that have been there, I understand it's not under your purview, but what is your take on that?
I think that is one of the reasons why I decided to vie, because I live in this area, and I decided to vie so that we can create this paradigm shift. Because for a long time we have had problems. Members of Parliament coming in and not focusing exactly to ensure that we have better infrastructure in Malava. And infrastructural facilities is one of the reasons why I vied. And I'm still hopeful that I'm going to trounce them and win so that we can change the lives of the people of Malava.
One message to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission in terms of ensuring that the exercise goes on seamless?
I just want to urge them, they have several hours remaining to ensure that this process regains its sanity, and I hope they can do that. Yes.
The last, perhaps, which is a concern, we've been able to visit a number of stations, and we have witnessed a low turnout. What is happening?
I think there's been a bit of voter suppression through different ways. We were told people are buying IDs. Secondly, I'm being told people are telling people to wait until they are given money. So if you go on the road, you find people waiting. But I've urged our people to really come out in large numbers and vote for the preferred candidate. And I'm sure I'm the right candidate for Malava.
Very many thanks indeed for having time to talk to Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. There you have it, my colleague John Jacob Kuria, just an update from this particular area, Malava constituency. One of the areas that Kenyans will be keenly watching to see how the situation goes, especially bearing in mind that this will be a litmus test ahead of the 2027 general election, and we'll be able to visit a number, also other polling stations to witness how the process is going on. Of course, 198 polling stations is we're experiencing this particular exercise, and of course we understand at around 9 a.m. one of the UDA candidates, that is Devin Dakov, casted his vote.
The nature of allegations made by the DAPK candidate, have you been able to establish whether these incidents have been reported to police or the IBC? You remember yesterday the IBC chairperson, Ethican, talked about the whole issue of reporting to the IEBC instead of going public or doing a public show. Have there been complaints reported to the IEBC according to Seth Panyako?
At first, I heard you talk about the allegations made by the opposition. Of course, we had Eugene Wamalwa, the party leader for DAP Kenya, who was accompanied by the aspirant Seth Ambusini Panyako early in the morning at Lunyu Primary School in Chekulo, Kabula ward. And of course, the sentiments of the allegations were made concerning voter bribery and suppressing voters not to turn out in a large number. So it's not something that I've not verified, but the picture that we managed to capture, the aspirant was very emotional when he was casting his votes, and he was breathing fire about the incident. So we'll be able to find out from the authorities concerned to substantiate the allegations made concerning those assassination attempt from Panyako, and of course voter bribery. That's something that also come out very openly here by the Kenya Moja candidate Wilberforce and I Tuve. My colleague John Jacob Kuria.
Well, that's Timothy Kipnusu all the way from Malava constituency, telling us about the happenings this morning, the allegations made by Seth Panyako. And of course, he's also spoken to one of the candidates representing the Kenya Moja party, and really talking about the how the exercise is going on well, but then he has a few complaints regarding voter bribery. Whether that can be verified or not is a matter for another day, and probably is squarely in the hands of the IEBC. Coming back to you, Dr. Isaac, you were talking about the lessons we will learn in terms of the IEBC and how it conducts this exercise, and you're saying how they conduct it will inspire our faith in 2027.
Yeah, that is very true. I mean, the image of IBC has been tinted in previous elections. We know very well in every election there is a finger that is pointed at the referee, and that is IBC. There is a feeling that IBC is interfered with. There is feeling that IBC is never independent. There is feeling that IBC participates in malpractice. The officials of IBC rather participates in malpractice. So if that has been what Kenyans have been hearing all through, and now that we have very clean new IBC commissioners, some of them are very close friends of mine. I know them, and we know very well that they unless or otherwise they change. They are people that we know they will have a lot of credibility in what they are doing. But the bottom line is that if they don't prove to Kenyans that indeed the current election, the by-election, which is good by luck happening across the country, because it is touching every region, meaning then the exposure and the environmental factor that is likely to change the whole scenario, where one will say this place had a different way of approach to it, they have it all. Meaning then, I tend to think if they don't prove to Kenyans that this particular process is transparent and it's very legit, then it will be a matter of time before Kenyans say, we are not happy with the current commissioners. All right, we will keep disrupting this conversation because of the nature of today being busy. Let's head over to Kasipul. Boyd Were of ODM has just voted and is now addressing members of the press. Let's join in and listen to him.
It is not violence, it was an attack by a candidate.
It was an attack. As you can see,
targeted, they have left.
As you can see, Mheshimiwa Kaluma has been attacked and he's bleeding. So I want to urge everyone, all candidates, there's no point of bringing chaos. Let the people of Kasipul decide who they want as the member of parliament. So let's embrace each other, let's maintain peace so that the voting can go on smoothly.
Okay, with the attacks, do you think that this might interfere with the turnout? Because some might
is what they intend.
No, they intend to interfere with the turnout, but
voting for them.
The people of Kasipul, they have been waiting for so long to vote in the member of parliament, so I don't think it will. Yeah.
There is concern that the attack happened because of alleged voter bribery. Is that something you are appraised to?
Why are you not here?
No, there was no voter bribery. And there is no
excuses.
Those are theatrics.
Yeah.
They are theatrics so that they can create commotion, so that they can discourage people from voting. So they have not witnessed any voter bribery.
What action are you going to take?
No, we are going to report. First of all, Mheshimiwa will go receive treatment, and we'll report it to the police so that at least the perpetrators can be brought into book.
Are you satisfied by the IBC, the way they are conducting the exercise?
The IBC is fine.
No, for the IBC, they are conducting the process very smoothly. Ballot boxes and the materials were distributed in time. So everything for the IBC, they are doing a good job. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yes, so our people of Kasipul, come out and vote. Our opponents know they have lost. What they want to do is to suppress people and stop them from coming out to vote. Aroko came in personally at Agoro Sare Primary, and by there I went to receive him. You media were here. I thought he was Boyd Were because I'm the chief agent here for our party, the ODM party, and you can see.
Boyd Were is a son of the late former Member of Parliament for Kasipul, and of course, right now speaking is a Member of Parliament for Homa Bay Town, Peter Kaluma. Of course, we have had to disconnect that because we want to head over to Mbeere North. One of the candidates, the UDA candidate, that is Leo Wamudhende, is on. Let's listen in.
Na zimetosha.
Okay. Naambia kwanza usisitize hapo kwa jina lako, kwa sababu kuna wengi wamesema jina la sajili kura ni tofauti na pia ile sajili ni tofauti.
Sasa mimi nasema stakabadhi ziko. Niko nasema niko na kitambulisho mpya. Niko na ile imeleta hiyo, niko na gazette notice ya kubadilisha, na niko pia na diploma, na hiyo bado ndio nilionyesha kwa IBC wakati nilikuwa na sajili, kwa sababu waliangalia kwa register wakanipata na nikawapatia stakabadhi mpya.
Okay. Mwisho kabisa, kumekuwa na shughuli nyingine ya vurugu mahali pengine ambapo umepitia,
Nimesikia kutoka kwa wananchi sehemu kidogo kidogo, na zote zimeletwa na viongozi wa upinzani. Sisi tunaingia hapa biashara yetu, mimi nipige kura na niondoke. Yes. Sina mambo mingi, lakini opposition wanaingia mahali alafu wanaleta vurugu.
Wazungumze na waziri hapa, Jeffrey Ruku. Umepiga kura waziri?
Immediately after this, I'm going to cast my vote. Any other question?
And some of the complaints that are coming here, first of all, we saw one of your agents kicked out because of wearing the party color. Kiroga Dhuku standing right behind you. And that is against the law. Secondly, claims, of course unverified, if not verified as NTV, but claims of voter bribery from the United Opposition, just like here Wamudende is saying the opposition is planning to cause chaos. So claims and counterclaims, how do you respond to this?
There is no voter bribery from our side whatsoever. We have done very vigorous campaigns across the Beira North constituency, and we are sure the people of Beira North have made the decision. They made the decision a week ago. Today is just confirmation of the decision that Leon Wamudende is the next member of parliament for this area.
Do you commit, I mean you're the immediate former member of parliament, it's you actually who's being replaced, do you commit to uphold peace should the election go the other way?
We have been very peaceful from the day one up to now. The only people who have been causing violence and anarchy are the fathers of chaos, anarchy, discord, not only in Beira North but in the Republic of Kenya, led by one, Rigathi Gachagua. So we are very synchronized team, people who bring peace, we want very peaceful by-elections here, and the fathers of anarchy, chaos, discord, people from Mutego and all manner of things, the guys of shares, are the people who talks about who have been causing violence. And we have just witnessed even here. Yes. We have come very peacefully, as you have seen. Not even with a car, walking. Okay? And we are going to cast our vote here. And then I go and I cast my vote at the polling station. And then we go around the constituency, ensuring that things are running well. And we are calling upon all security agencies to ensure there is peaceful voting process, that the people of Beira North are going to do their voting, to exercise their democratic rights in a peaceful manner.
Thank you.
And that is the purpose of the security agencies.
Because I have reported incidents, and as I come out, I'll tell you where agents from the opposition are trying to influence votes by paying voters, but it's not working. So I can tell you there are those claims, but it's being done by the opposition. They are attempting to influence by bribing voters, but it will not work, and we are not complaining because we are confident. Our people know why they are electing Leo Wamudende. It cannot be changed by money.
Okay. Thank you very much. Leo Wamudende, the UDA candidate for the Beira North.
Leo Wamudende is the UDA candidate in Beira North. And of course, after this, Bentro is going to head over to Momenje Ward. That's where Newton Karis of DP party will be voting. But of course, we've also seen a man who is a bit familiar with the constituency, that is the Cabinet Secretary for Public Service. He's actually the one being succeeded in this by-election, obviously after being appointed by President William Ruto to the position of Cabinet Secretary Public Service. Interestingly, he was elected on a DP ticket in 2022, but then again, after ditching DP to join government, he's supporting the UDA candidate. Let's bring it back to the studio. But of course, I understand Vincent Chemitei, the Baringo UDA aspirant in the position of senator, has arrived in the polling station, will be voting shortly. And of course, once we have those pictures, we'll be showing you. Let me come to you, Dr. Reverend Alphonse Kanga. In terms of the preparedness of the IEBC and the signs we've seen so far, is it elementary of a commission in charge?
That's a good question. Are they ready or they are not ready? It is difficult to say whether they are ready or not ready.
Yes.
But their readiness will be determined for how much or how far they have been able to follow the Constitution. We have our Constitution 2010. When we say, are we ready or we are not ready, we are asking, have you followed the Constitution as per the letter 2010? Mm-hmm. Because what is happening for the last 2 weeks, we have been treated on a lot of drama and a lot of sideshows which are going on from the political class. Now the question is the IBC able to navigate that political drama, all that lies and truth mixed together? Are they going to navigate and come out clean? And are they going to remain independent? Are they ready or not independent?
And of course on screen you have Leo Amudende casting his vote. Go ahead.
Yes. Are they ready or not ready? Their readiness will be determined by how much they have to navigate the political drama that we are always treated on until we lose the goal, until we lose the mark, what we are doing. Today, it's about the people of Mbere, the people of Malava. It's not about the dramatic stories we have been treated on all through. Why? We are being treated all to this because of lack of following the Constitution. The narrative we need to perpetuate right now is, can we follow the Constitution that we gave ourselves 2010? We have what we call the police department. Are they independent in this? We have what we call the IEBC. That I, is that I in them? Is that I being emphasized? Is it following the Constitution we have? Or is a manipulation for domination using psychological languages, psychological manipulation, the language that people want to hear? This one says this. And then we that are we the people of Kenya, are we able to identify that manipulation from the political class and do the right thing so that we let them know it is not about individuals, it's not about the people that we have been treated to the whole week, because the whole week the election has never been about Malava people. It's not even about Mbere people. It's about the individual who are fighting to gain a mile out of this. So how is IEBC going to work through this to make sure that election becomes Malava election, Mbere becomes a Mbere election, so that we don't have some people going to take tea and some calling for fire and some doing all that. All that is their business. They are building their names from there. But it's about the Malava and Mbere people.
All right. Quite interesting. The pictures you have on your screen right now are the pictures of Leo Amudende, of course accompanied by the Madeira Member of Parliament, Eric Wamumbi, also the Cabinet Secretary for Public Service, Geoffrey Roko. Earlier on, there was a bit of scuffle at the Siakago Social Hall involving Chinga, Member of a County Assembly, Kiroga Dhuku, and the immediate former Cabinet Secretary for Public Service and former Attorney General Justin Muturi, who obviously is the party leader of the DP party. High stakes really in Mbere North. And the clash involving both was for the fact that Kiroga Dhuku, the MCA for Chinga in Othaya constituency of Nyeri County, turned up donning UDA colors in the social hall. Of course, today is not a day to don any party colors, and of course that is according to the rules by the IEBC. Back in studio, it appears to be a meeting of doctors. Now I'm joined by Dr. Julia Shege. Obviously that alters the panel that we had. Now we have a woman in the panel. Karibu sana daktari.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Tell us about your assessment of the IEBC preparedness so far. The exercise is about 3 hours, 4 hours on. What do you think, or how do you see the preparedness of IEBC playing on?
First of all, thank you for having me, and good morning to our viewers.
Good morning.
All over the country. It's a very interesting question that you have thrown to the panel, because I heard you ask Lev about it. But IEBC, having just come to the office a few months or so, a few months, and it's a credible IEBC. The people who are there, they are good people. If they are not interfered with by the political class, because they are known to do that. If they are not interfered with, I would say they have worked out the clock, and the by-elections that we have, they are going to be credible, because they knew very well one of the mandates that they have to do is to make sure that we have the by-elections and we get you know, fair and free election. But the question is, the stakes are very high. You know, I'm a member of Democratic Party, and currently
you have a candidate in Bere.
I have a candidate, and actually I was going to Bere. That's why I wanted to confirm for sure. Am I coming here?
Welcome
or
here.
I'm going to Bere. And currently I'm the National Vice Chair programs.
Okay.
So this is a program that is in my hands, you know, and the stakes are very high. And I don't think the election in the by-elections currently in the country, they are about the people. They are about the stakes. That is the truth. They are about who muscle who. And unfortunately now, this time loud is the men who muscles who. You know, and sometimes I ask myself as a governance person, are we doing the right thing? Are we setting the right precedents? Because you find the UDA want to win and United Opposition through Democratic Party want to win. And I think we are winning. And I don't want to do campaigns because we had all the time to do the campaigns and all that.
You're past the 48 hours.
We are past that. But what I am really keen on is to see are the IEBC people compromised. Like they did in 2022. I told you I was a candidate for Kangema MP, and I will be 2027. I'll be there. What else would I be doing if I don't go to, you know, if I'm not a candidate? I think IBC now, this is their litmus test. This is, we want to see how credible they are. Who are they? Who are they representing? Are they independent, or they are just a commission without teeth? You know, I don't want to call them the other name, you know. Today I'm peaceful, you know. So, I want to. So, now, Reverend Akwapa. So, if Reverend is around me, I don't want to, you know, be funny. But if I become funny, you pray for me. Yeah. So, it's the IBC like currently.
It will be a confession.
Yeah, and don't forget, Dr. Hassan is here.
Yeah.
And, you know, we can also do the other player, you know. So I think IBC right now, I don't think they are sleeping at all, because how would you sleep in such a highly contested issue? But one of the things that I would urge IBC, let us stick to the rule, because we have a constitution. We have the rules that govern these elections. We should not have sacred cows. If somebody messes up, like my friend who went in dressed in UDA attire, they should face the law. He is my friend, yes, but we should not have sacred cows. If we do, then 2027, what will happen with this by-election is a reflection, just a quarter, not all of it. Let's not hype the country that if this win and this win, that is the scenario. No, people change overnight. People change overnight. We have, you know, we have information and we have evidence. People change overnight. They be singing your song in the morning, and in the evening they are saying, no, we are on the other side.
You
so
know better as an aspirant.
I know better as a contestant. I know better. So let us not say that the election, how it will go, it is a reflection of 2027. That's not the truth. All right. But this election is highly contested, and it's unfortunate we can see even civil servants going there and they're in office. So I think from there,
is that right?
It's not right at all, and they should be removed from office. You know, that's where we should start from. I mean, you can't have your cake and eat it at the same time. You must choose where you need to be. But, you know, at the same time, that's why I'm saying the stakes are very high. If it was somebody else who, like if you went there for campaign, I'm telling you tomorrow you'll not be here. I can assure you. Yeah. But you see, we have CSS who are our friends. They're doing that, you know, but it's not fair for the country. What are we teaching our people? Therefore, IEBC should be very strict. The question, I'm going back to your question. This is a litmus test for them. How they will conduct this will actually tell us if they are going to do something better in 2027. But at the same time, we have nothing to say. If they do good, we clap for them. If they mess around, we just keep quiet and wait for 2027. You know, but I want to urge the people of Bere and everywhere else that they are having by-elections. Nairobi, we have one, and you know, and I think we'll also win. United Opposition. I'm not campaigning. I'm just, you know,
propping up hopes.
I mean, we have to live by hope. But at the same time, I want to urge our people: let us be very peaceful. Let us vote and go home.
All right.
You vote and leave the polling station. If they want to steal the election, they will steal. If they don't want to steal the election, they won't. So whatever has to happen will happen. But nobody should lose their life. Be it an IBC person, we have seen IBC officers lose their lives. Nobody should lose their life because of an election. It would rather not be there.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's escalate this, Dr.
Yeah, it's true,
as you pick up on that one, because the submissions by Dr. Shage are that today is not much more about the stakes of 2027. It is the IBC that is squarely in the dock. Do you agree?
Yes, I totally agree. I mean, the by-elections are nothing. The bigger picture is what we were looking at. And it's a rehearsal, I may put it that way, for the IBC officials. But I think I disagree with Dr. Chege on one thing. It's not about an opposition or it's about the ruling party. It's about credibility, accountability, and consistency that officials who have been subjected to the process of these by-elections will going to give it to Kenyans, number one. Number two is how state officials behave in reference to the process of these by-elections that is going on. Thirdly is how independently voters will going to give out their will in terms of voting. So all surrounds the voters, first and foremost. I think this, all other things that we see from either leaders or people who purport to be leaders of that particular process, which they are giving us as a side shows, are not what we are focusing on. What we are focusing on is, if you are Kenyan, you know, I see people talk about bribery. Bribery is two-way around. If you have your conscience, and your conscience tells you that you do not need to be bribed, but you must fulfill your will, you will just walk in there and vote the person you want. But if you pick bribes, in any case, it means even in the initial
which
process,
they have picked bribes.
Yes. So in the initial process, you yourself, who is the determining factor, because the bribe giver is not actually the main thing. The person who is taking his voter's card into the polling station and go and vote is the one who matters, mostly in terms of the transparency and, of course, the will of the people. So mine is only one, that if you are a voter in any of the by-election centers and you walk into that polling station, please vote in the person you think that will going to provide a quality leadership to the people of that constituency, ward, or county, and then who will be having the capacity to represent them in legislating, in representation, and oversight of what the executive does. If that is not the case, then all these are political gimmicks that people just want to show supremacy, who is holding the ground. And my sister, Dr. Chege, who is saying we are, you know, the issue of the united opposition. I think the united opposition's agendas are not very clear. They have never come out. Their agenda has been...
you get your time.
Yes, their agendas have been, we will make the current sitting government, Dr. William Ruto, a one-term president. They have never came out and say, this is what we have for you guys. So I always tell them, come up with your manifesto.
I don't know why Reverend is protesting. Are you a member of the united opposition?
No. Okay. So Reverend could be moderator. He should be a moderator because if he goes one side, then meaning I'll be alone around here. So the best thing is we should have
because,
a moderator. So basically, in concluding, in concluding on that aspect of what I'm trying to say, is that it's not about the political wings that talk about what they want. What we want here now, when the real day of voting reaches, the focus goes to the voters.
Okay.
And we want the voters to exercise their right, democratic right, precisely, and tell or show Kenyans or show people who are political leaders who, in essence, do not have anything to do for those particular voters, because the people who are going to help those voters are the leaders they are choosing.
The leaders they are choosing.
So their leaders, the leaders they are choosing should be the right leaders that they think will going to serve them.
Have you been raising your hand?
Yes,
let me hear you.
Yes, I wanted to begin from where you have started.
Yes.
Am I partisan? Yes, I'm partisan on the side of truth and justice.
Okay.
So as a religious group, we are partisan on the side of truth because, first of all, we are for people and there must be truth. And where we are worried right now, the Gen Z came on the street some times back. And one of the things the Gen Z, why they were on the streets, they emphasized they want the Constitution to work. Now the question is, I thought that for this by-election, this is going to indicate that we have grown above the gimmicks that we were in last time. But I'm sorry, we are coming back again with the same manipulation for domination. Actually, we are...
The pattern is the same?
The pattern seems to be the same.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. We have not concentrated on election. It is who manipulates what, who says what, that makes somebody happy. And the Gen Z was saying, we are children of this land. We don't want you or you. Nobody has a right to be what. Then the MPs, when we put IBC in place, the Gen Z, they were putting in so that they can kick some of these politicians out. You know, the politicians have succeeded to make the Genesis and the rest of us not even think about them. Now we are thinking about their manipulation. Now we are talking about the top seat. Instead of knowing we are where we are because of these lawmakers. These lawmakers who are doing what's not supposed to be right. Just as you have said, surely this election was supposed to have shown us that we are now mature, we know what to do, we do not expect any manipulation, we do not expect civil servants to be campaigning, we expect to be there so that we are all the same. These people, sometimes you wonder whether they have conscience, because you hear them abusing one another the following day they're on the same table and say it's good because the end justifies the means. So what are we supposed to do? We need to wake up and tell the political class, please give us a break. And don't tell us, don't now try to manipulate our minds so that we concentrate on one seat. Right now, while we are talking about, oh, 1 term, 2 term. The question of the country is not 1 term, 2 term. The question is our MP, are they clean? We are supposed to be kicking them out right now. Now we are not kicking them out. We are now thinking about 1 term or 2 term. That's not the issue. What has happened in Ibere? What's the issue? What's all this manipulation? What's happening in Malava? Cars are being banned. Is it not manipulation for politicians? They are playing games. You will not know whether it's really the government doing or they are them doing, because they can also do it. Blame who?
Thank God we have a politician.
We do have.
We have one
before we go very far. I just wanted to pick one thing.
You pick it.
Just one thing.
You pick it. For fairness, let's just head over to her. Because there's a very interesting conversation.
Yes.
There's a very interesting point you made.
Yes.
If the IEBC is not compromised by the political class. That is what he said.
Yes, I did.
You're a member of political class.
Yes.
How do you compromise IEBC?
I don't compromise.
No, tell us how the political class compromises.
First of all, I want to respond to my friend and my very good friend, Dr. Hassan. We don't fight. 1 term or 2 term shenanigan. For me, I don't fight the president because I'm not looking for the presidency. I'm not looking to be the president of this country. He's not my enemy. Maybe in future, maybe 2032, thereabout. But for now, the 1 term and the 2 term for me is a non-issue because I am not his competitor. I am looking for Member of Parliament Kangema. So, and I've always told my people, let us not insult the president or the presidency, based on 1 term or 2 term. When we go to vote, we will make sure whether he retains or he doesn't retain. Because that is not something that, it's a rhetoric that is being sold by the two, it looks like two horses, the government and the united opposition. But I want to remind you, people are tired, they're sick and tired. One, the economy is not doing well. I've been teaching at the University of Nairobi. From May, we have never been paid to date. And we went back. Of course, our people, I don't know the leadership, they were compromised somehow. Because how come we were told to go back to work?
The union.
Yes. How come we were told to go back and in the bank there is no money? And you see, you can't keep on fighting, you can't keep on shouting. We have no time for that. I'm a young person who cannot come.
I'm tempted to sway a bit just from what you've said, because when you talk about the leadership of the University Workers Union, doesn't it point to a moral problem? You don't trust them? You think they were compromised? Isn't it a moral problem?
I am thinking, I'm wondering, where is the money? That's my thinking. I mean, I don't depend on that salary. I mean, I do other things. I'm another, I do other things. But what I'm asking, there are people who actually depend on that, and they have not been paid. Where is the moral conscience of the leadership? I mean, that's number one. And when we go back to the religious people, at least these days now we are able to speak and they're able to reason out with us. But 2027, they know where they took us.
2022.
2022, they know where they took us. So for 2027, we are taking you with a pinch, you know, like this. We are not holding you because we know what happened. The other thing is the cost of this by-election. Why would one constituency spend 100 million for what?
Which constituency?
All of it. They are spending so much money.
Who?
Either the government or by, how do you know, we are talking to the public and they are telling us, those people, they gave us 2,000 per head and we were more than 10,000 people. The other side were given the same amount. And others, you know, and it's not one day, it's every day, every day. Why would we spend that kind of money? Where is our laws? And especially this law that came in Parliament, and I'm sure they put it under their tables and all that. How much money should be spent in a campaign? You know, and I'm looking at the women and the women movement in this country, and we have been having that conversation. If one constituency can spend over 100 million, and all the government machinery goes there, how about 2027? Those that are not connected with the government, those that who don't have the money.
You appear to insinuate that this money was spent by government.
Of course, the government is spending, opposition is spending.
Okay, why don't you say opposition is spending?
Everybody is spending. Everybody, we supported our candidates.
Okay.
I mean,
with money, right?
Yes, that is the truth. Let us not lie to Kenyans. I have seen people. Why would somebody from Muranga go to campaign in Mbele if there is nothing? Why would somebody leave Nyeri to go and campaign in Mbele if there is no money? I mean, are they frying? Let us not lie to Kenyans, you know. The cost of this election is something that we do not want to see in 2027. But then it arises in Parliament. And that is where I keep telling our people, the ones that were elected to go and represent and may legislate, they are busy giving bursaries out there. They are busy giving money in the matangas. That is not their duty. It is to registrate. It is true, and they forget that it's only 5 years and they're out and they come to us. They start looking for. Another thing is the timelines and the campaign rules. They were all violated by both opposition and government. All of them. Nobody is a Madeira there. All of them, they are carrying, they have a lot of dark spots. Everybody there. Nobody is clean. Because of the things that they have done, and that has not lied to Kenyans. Me, I'm not a popular candidate, but I know what I stand for. Because it is very important, you know, as a scholar, as a doctor, people expect you to be a superhuman. We are not superhuman, but we need to tell people the truth, what is happening. The last thing is campaign messaging. The potential messages that have been delayed, that are perpetrating violence. You know, when I see people, you know, campaigning and what is coming out of their mouth, insinuating like if we don't win, mutatuona, or if you know, those kind of threats to one another in a campaign, it is not the right thing. But then, that is done, today in the evening, we will be able to know whether the two horses, of course there are several candidates, like in Bere there are many, and any other place, we will be able to know these two horses, which one has won. And I want to urge them, whichever horse win, let us not like tell each other like you didn't use your head, you didn't do this, because they are going to perpetrate violence.
Magnanimity.
You know, and it is so bad, because I remember what happened in 2022, immediately after the election. Even people who won because they were just lucky to be in UDA, they are there talking to you and telling you how you didn't use your head, and they were not on the ground. Let us not fight. Let us not fight and show each other that we muscled. Yes, it's a competition, but after today, I mean, we go back to our businesses.
You have not answered my question, Dr.
Okay, ask the question again.
How does the political class compromise?
The political class, of course, the political class doesn't compromise.
You will help her.
Yes, the political class can only do that through government. If you're in opposition, you can't. Because it is the government which is able to get their own CS from their offices and their PSs to go and campaign. If they do that on their own, they are sacked. So what I'm telling the government, we know they are about to compromise IBC, and they'll tell them, well, make sure that seat imekuja kwetu. That is enough threat.
There are allegations
that is enough compromise. I mean, and I'm telling you, I know what is happening. They are also under threat. Why would we have IBC officers have policemen and bodyguards around them? Why?
Let me ask you a scenario, because you said only government can compromise the IEBC. The 2022 elections, when we had 4 commissioners splitting with Chebukati and the rest. Chebukati declared results the way he declared them. Then you had the Cherera 4 saying the results are not valid. Who compromised the IEBC in that case?
The stakes are very high.
Who compromised
and
the
let's
IEBC?
not talk about that, because some of the people who did whatever, they are with
I was borrowing from your narrative. Who compromised the IEBC that time?
Maker, you know, and we are told something happened.
Yeah.
You see, if you commit a sin today, the Bible tells us you will pay for it. And if you commit a sin in Kenya, you know, something will happen.
Now, I think Dr. Chege has become a real politician, and she has become a real opposition.
No, I'm not.
I didn't know her that she will move very fast to that side. Probably the pressure pushing her must be very huge.
No.
We will show you how to go about and navigate and come closer to the government. But
you're holding brief for
Dr. Hassan,
I'm putting the perspective of you know, it is either the government or the opposition.
All right.
Now that's what I want to clarify.
Dr. Hassan, I am shocked you're in government.
Let me clarify one thing.
Yes.
That, you know, she talked about the opposition, and then she talked about the government.
Yeah.
You know, it is not either the opposition or the government. No, it is political parties. Elections is all about political parties. And therefore, if you have a ticket on the ruling party, that does not necessarily translate that you are the government. The government is the existing executive that is discharging its mandate. You may find elements of government officials going into a constituency of their interest and trying to, you know, talk to the people. Of course, they are not allowed to campaign.
Okay.
But on the other hand, it's not about the government. So let's not bring agenda that is not part of the current event that is going on, the by-election. Electioneering is to do with political parties, and we know very well there are political parties who are fighting for the seats, and everyone will want his party to win. That does not necessarily, if Dr. William Samoei Ruto is the party leader for UDA, and I get a ticket for UDA, does not necessarily translate to me being a government representative. I only belong to the ruling political party. So I think we start from there, because often I see she's pointing fingers at the government. Why? Is because she thinks that the government can manipulate. No, these are people who are if there is any manipulation.
But isn't it true that government can manipulate?
No, I don't think so. Because how does the, you know, we have an independent, one minute, we have an independent institution that is mandated to carry out the exercise for the elections. And now, that is itself.
What both of you are not telling me?
Both of them are government.
Both of you are not telling me. And I've asked a very simple question.
But I wanted to add.
Go for a commercial. Hold on a minute.
Yes.
We had an IBC in 2022.
Yes.
That split right in the middle.
Yes.
You would argue then that the ones that declared the results, probably you would say, were leaning towards
one candidate.
One candidate. Then you would argue the other four were leaning towards another candidate.
You know, John,
and I'm asking you, when you say, it is possible that opposition can manipulate the
No. Let me just
take a breather. When we come back,
let me just say one thing.
Let's take a breather.
When the hills gave way in Marquette, thousands were left with nothing. But together, we can help them rise again. Join KBC in the Restore Hope, Restore Earth campaign, Unity in Adversity. Together for Marquette. Donate through paybill number 522533, account number 8036543, or drop foodstuffs and supplies at Marquette County offices. Every shilling, every tree, every act of kindness counts. KBC, bringing Kenyans together.
Both we come from United Kingdom.
Even you?
Yeah, me I come in United Kingdom slums. Listen very carefully, because this case you are going to be hanged.
Wewe ndiye nilitumia pesa sababu pesa ilikuwa na reflect jina yako.
And you say I'm calling you sugar? Look at me.
Oh yes.
I'm a perfect figure. I'm on a diet. That's all.
And con Kenyan ladies.
No. I'm more interested in, you know, the hippopotamus.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Tuulize na Kiswahili. Muulize na Kiswahili.
How can we contact young lady mheshimiwa?
Which con man? Which con man?
Yaani uko na macho ine na uoni.
Tahia zile nguo.
Alizipenda. Kwanza anataka hivyo vipande 12 kwa hivyo tuvitenge.
Wewe umefuata nini hapa?
Sijui kama ni pendo ama ni mambo mengine, lakini hatutamruhusu kufanya hivyo kamwe.
Basi huyu ni ua langu. Kuna mtu yeyote atakayejaribu kunitenga nalo, basi hataona raha.
Wanipa vitisho ama wajaribu kunifokea?
Si hivyo.
Decision time for 22 electoral zones, 6 of them being in the National Assembly, 1 of them in the Senate, and 15, of course, to represent the voters in the county assemblies. And we still in studio, and of course, handling some of the emerging issues. But before we bring back the conversation back to studio, let's just have a look at the profiles of some of his constituencies. For example, Kasipul constituency in Homa Bay County. Let's have just a peep at that profile of the constituency. An interesting number of aspirants, of course, disabusing the narrative that, of course, is peddled that the candidates are just about two in terms of how the competition is shaping up. You see, there's quite a host of aspirants from the constituency of Kasipu. Let's just have a look at the profile of Mbeere North. Again, there's a host of candidates, but then again, the narrative has been about two candidates. Let's just have a look at the profile of Mbeere North in Embu County.
Businessman Leonard Muriuki wa Modende is flying the UDA flag, while Benga musician turned politician Newton Karish is flying the United Opposition flag on a DP ticket in the race that has attracted 9 candidates in total. According to the 2022 IEBC data, Mbeere North in Embu County has 55,124 registered voters. This is the constituency with the least number of voters in Embu County, with Manyata having 106,588 voters, Runyenjes with 95,326 voters, and Mbeere South with 77,262 voters. Mbeere North has 3 wards, namely Evurore Ward with 26,393 voters, Ndawa Ward with 18,882,000 voters, and Momenje with 9,849 voters. In the high-stakes election, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki, Embu Governor Cecily Mbarire, and immediate former MP Jeffrey Roko are leading the campaigns in support of UDA's Leonard Wamodende, while former Attorney General and Cabinet Secretary Justin Muturi and former Embu Senator Lenny Kevuti are drumming up support for Newton Karish, who has served 2.5 terms as the Momenje Ward MCA. Another former MCA, Duncan Mbowe, is also in the race on a Chama cha Kazi party. Other candidates include Lawrence Ereri of Safina, Reverend Isaac Muringi of UPA Party, Albert Ngari of National Vision Party, Daniel Ngari of Kenya Moja Movement, and Simon Waiharo. The tight race has seen door-to-door campaigns with candidates pledging to address the numerous challenges in the constituency, including water provision, infrastructure development, and job creation in the Mogoka Ridge region.
Nisimame na viongozi wengine wanapenda amani.
The contest is also a litmus test for both government and the opposition as we gear up for the 2027 succession politics.
That's very north in Embu County. We'll be looking at the profile of Magarini a little bit later, but let's first of all bring this conversation back to the studio because I remember I cut you short on a point you're making very quickly.
So what I just said was that in my earlier conversation,
yes,
is that when my sister talks about the government and the opposition, it's not the government and the opposition. These are political parties who are opposing each other. So the ruling party, or name it UDA, and any other party. Because even the united opposition that she belongs to is not represented as a bloc. It is a candidate of, for example, in Mbeere, candidate of DP. So I think when we are translating issues related to malpractices, let's circle it to where it really matters. The other thing is, Reverend was mentioning why is the deputy president campaigning there. Actually, the Act of 2011, Political Parties Act 2011, does not bar all elected voters, leaders from campaigning for their candidates. They are like state officers, but not fully state officers. Therefore, the president, the deputy president, governors, all these ones are allowed. The people who are barred from campaigns are the cabinet secretaries, the principal or permanent secretaries or the principal secretaries, and any other state officers. And therefore, I think that must be very clear in our domain.
Okay.
But the referent mentioned something very unique, and my sister reacted in regards to the role of the religious leaders. I think Reverend said they are partisan, they are part of it, but I always ask myself, where does religion place in politics? Actually, religion has no place in politics.
It does.
No, it has a lot. Religion has a lot.
You will make your point.
Yes, religion has a lot to do with the people, not the political dispensation. Political dispensation are purely for politicians, and the people who, the religious people must engage.
So if politics affects the lives of these people, why shouldn't religious leaders be involved?
You know, the problem is that we are of different faith.
Yes.
As a Muslim, we when everything goes dark, we rush to the religious leaders. Now, if the religious leader himself or the religious leaders are already in the forefront in the malpractice, then it is difficult for anyone to have a fallback. And therefore, that is similar to all religious dispensations. So what I know very well is that, for example, in Islam, we don't allow anyone in the mosque to come and do his funny things. Mosque is purely for prayers. We go in there, pray, and go out. If you want to go on politics, as a religious, one of the religious leaders can go out there and speak on politics. But he does it
He doesn't
outside.
do it inside the mosque.
He does it
but
outside
they can come
the
and
vicinity.
dress in
No,
kanzu.
they are no. Kanzu is not
like
a
praying.
No, kanzu is not a representation of Islam. Kanzu is just a culture of Arabs which are living in a very hot area, and they wanted to free, open themselves.
Let's bring this conversation back on track.
Let's not go to religious.
Let's bring this conversation.
But what I'm
on
just
track.
saying is, Reverend and his colleagues have dominated, one, the political process, two, decisions, and of course, allowing politicians to come and politic inside the houses of prayers.
All right, let the Reverend do
So, Reverend, I'll leave it for Reverend.
Let me answer you quickly.
Yes.
Maybe there must be a misconception of what politics is. Politics simply means promotion of from the Greek word, simply means promotion of awareness in the community. It comes from a Greek word, which means promotion of awareness in the community. I don't think there is some, and the first politician, there were two. Number one, you call him Isa Mwana Mariam. That was Jesus himself. He found the 10 commandments and he summarized into one. He said, the best politician you can do, the best promotion of awareness is this: love your neighbor as you love yourself. And that is what Muhammad stood for. So you cannot separate Muhammad from the politics of the day. Actually, that's why I'm a theologian, when Muhammad was going for Hijrah, he was going to solve a political problem. There was a political problem that he was going to solve. And he brought people together, united
you're
together.
losing some of
So
us
you
who are not
cannot
into this.
separate
you're losing some of us.
We can do it.
Probably the point being made here, and I think Dr. Shege referenced it a little bit, is that the religious leaders are overly engaging in politics, to the extent of even endorsing candidates. That alters what you would call the political matrix. Do you think you have done that, or it's still within the course of?
Actually, there was overemphasis of sub-issues. Like I wanted to tell her, you see, first of all, you cannot say that the religious people are your problem. You know what?
She said the
only problem, the only person that is with you, Daktari, when you are born, he was there. When you went to church, he was there. When you are married, he was there. When you are dead, he's there. He's the politician, is the pastor. And so you need to trust him so much than anybody else. This one is only there because the end justifies the means. But me, I'll be there even when you are dead.
So you will be involved in our policy.
Okay.
All right. Very quickly, so that
I want to make a comment, and this is my personal view.
As long as it will be a fair comment.
Yeah, and it's a fair comment, and it is the truth actually. Politicians and religious people, they are bedmates. And that is why you find even State House, we have bishop board around. And the mind of the people who conceived that idea is that the president should go to the bishop board for spiritual nourishment. You know, that is the truth. So why I say they are bed mates is because politicians will deal with issues, legal, governance, policy, and all that. The religious people, purely, they should deal with matters faith, and also bringing us back to God, and you know, just moderating and making sure that people are they are living according to
the moral compass.
The moral compass lies actually with the religious people and the constitution. But you find sometimes the religious people, because of their own, you know, of their own volition, without being coerced by anybody, they'll decide that if a politician comes here, and I had a bishop who said that an MCA who gave 10,000, they should not be giving 10,000. They are quoted actually from my Anglican setup. One bishop was quoted. I don't want to mention his name here. You know, those reckless statements from our religious people, they make us shiver and wonder if this is the person who will be there when I'm born and everything, and then this is how they are behaving.
And there goes Cabinet Secretary Geoffrey Roko,
yes,
voting in Barra North. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think that is the challenge that we have. And 2022, we saw them being called to State House. They were being called here and there. We saw them where they were arraigned and all that. And 2027, I do not want to imagine religious people can actually make the same brother. You know, they were friends, they were brothers, they were sisters, they were our husbands, uncles, and grandfathers. So they give us information. They were promised something. And that is why you see there is an uproar right now. They agreed, do not do this and do this. Do not do this and do this. And then the person they supported didn't do. And now that is why now they are bringing logic now. Now they want to prove to us they depend.
Let me ask you, Daktari.
Yes.
Because I saw religious leaders in Azimio meetings.
Yes.
Yes. And I also saw religious leaders in Kenya Kwanza meetings. One would argue the religious leaders supported whichever side they supported. Isn't it their democratic right, whether they were right or wrong?
The danger is when religious people misuse politicians and vice versa.
Okay.
That's where the danger is. And you find now for them being partisan and the integrity is compromised. Because you see, most of the bishops, most of the pastors, most of the religious people, they will not tell you literally give us something. But it is common sense, which is not, I was told by my daughter who is a Gen Z, it's not common anymore. They'll not ask for anything, but you should ideally give to the church, you know. And what has happened over time, our economy has been dwindling and going up and down. And therefore, even the people who are in charge, they do not give, you know. And you know, when they give, like how we give in the Anglican setup, you just put money without showing what you are doing. You can even put 10 bob. Now, if we put 100 of us 10 shillings, I mean, how much is that? So you find it is important for our now pastors to get other ways of raising funds from the followers without actually looking like they are doing politics and all that.
All right, let me cut you short. Let's head over to Barra North. Geoffrey Roko once more on cameras after voting. Let's hear what he has to say.
And I want to encourage everybody from every polling station in Barra North to come out and cast their vote. It is your democratic right to ensure you make a decision on who is going to continue managing the affairs of Barra North in the National Assembly or in the Parliament of Kenya. I'm happy with the process. This is where I normally do my voting, and I can see everything has come. No issues as far as this polling station is concerned.
At this point, I'll ask you about voter mobilization.
Yes.
55,124 registered voters here in Bere.
Yes.
In 2022, in a general election, we saw only 37,000 voted.
Yes.
Just aside from winning, you have a mandate as a UDA party, of course, with Muzende, to get people out to vote.
Yes.
How are you doing that?
We did that for almost a month or so, going around in each and every village in Beira North, encouraging people to come out today and vote. What is remaining is for them to make the decision. At the moment, the rules of IBC prohibit us from making announcements for people to come out and cast their vote. So they have made a decision. The one who is willing to come out and cast his or her vote will come. The one who is not willing is also a process. It's also a decision of saying this is my decision, which I've made for different reasons. So I think we have encouraged, and we are continuing to encourage every single voter out of the 55,000 registered to please come out and exercise your democratic rights.
Are you confident with the turnout so far?
Yes, I'm confident. I've seen the report I've gotten here because it's my village. Many people voted very early in the morning. Where we have come from in Chicago, many people have voted. So I think we are proceeding well. And probably even we can ask the presiding officer here how many people so far have cast their vote. And we can be able to judge how it looks like. Yes.
Are you ready to accept the results regardless of what?
We are very much ready to accept the results. We know we have done our part, and we are sure Leonard Omlende will be the next member of parliament from Beira North.
Mheshimiwa, what priorities would you want your successor to look at the most? Because your work was still continuing.
Number one is ambassadors for the young people, for the students of Beira North, those who are in high school and those who are in colleges and universities. In Beira, we don't have many cash crop. We don't have tea. We don't have coffee. We don't have macadamia. We don't have all these agricultural crops which generate income to the families, and therefore many families are very vulnerable. It's a marginalized constituency. So, and the only thing which we can seriously invest in is education, because most of us come from very poor background. We are where we are because of education. So we want to have as many young people or families enjoying the same in future. So I would encourage Wamudenda, once elected today, to put a lot of effort as far as education of Beira North kids are concerned. Is the roads infrastructure. Many roads in Beira North are not tarmacked, and it's a fast constituency. Beira North in size is slightly bigger than half of Kirinyaga County. Therefore, infrastructure is key. Number two is electricity, connectivity, ensuring every household has power, and also the number three tying is water. These are things which Wamulende has to really put a lot of effort as far as electricity, water, roads. But number one is education, because many, especially women, many of them have been crying alone in their households because they are helpless in terms of paying the school fees for their children. That's something which we have to really.
Is he coming as a new captain in town in terms of, are there specific projects that you had initiated that he is coming to continue with, or he's coming to sort of fresh?
There are many projects which we have started. One, irrigation project, 3 of them which are ongoing and they are not complete. We have tarmacking of roads, 1 ongoing, 1 also starting. Actually 2 starting, fully financed. Those are key projects which he has to push. You know, implementation of some of these projects requires hands-on. You must be there. It's unfortunate that it's the nature of human being. If they are not supervised and put pressure, all of us sometimes we relax in terms of doing work. That's why you see me as a Minister of Public Service, going to different offices impromptu to push people to work. So whether it is in public service or in construction of roads, irrigation project implementation, you have to push. So these are some of the projects which we will seriously push. Also, the issue of electricity connectivity. We have many projects which are ongoing at a tune of 336 projects, which Wamudende has to ensure the implementation of those last mile connectivity projects are done properly. Because you find a village has been allocated money, but the contract are left out for no good reason, just for someone who want to have higher markups. So it's the responsibility of the representative of the people to ensure he push every house.
That's the Cabinet Secretary for Public Service, Geoffrey Roko, of course, fielding questions from members of the press regarding the ongoing by-elections. That is his constituency, that is where he used to represent for the last 2.5 years. And of course, fielding questions also on his participation generally in the campaigns and the exercise ongoing. I want to, in a minute, to finish up that conversation on religious leaders so that now we look at the stakes involved in this election.
Okay.
Yes.
I know politics need moral anchors, and that is why religious people need to come on board.
Yes.
And I know they have actually done, by the way, even if we are mudslinging them here now, they have done a bit of work in terms of uniting Kenyans and making souls of politicians here and all that. They do that. But then the challenge is when they become compromised, when they become partisan. That is where now even somebody who has killed or has done corruption, has done everything, they are praised in church because they have brought an envelope.
Hold on that.
That is where the challenge is.
And you'll excuse me just a bit. Let's head over to Ugunja. Ugunja, the Cabinet Secretary for Energy and Petroleum, that is Opiyo Wandayi, is currently speaking. He's an immediate former Member of Parliament.
Peaceful so far. I must commend the security agencies and the leadership of the constituency generally for working tirelessly to ensure peace prevails. I want to encourage our people here, first and foremost, to take this opportunity and exercise their democratic right by voting. Yeah, a lot of talking has happened the last many months. So the hour of reckoning has now come. Yes, let everybody who is a registered voter come out and vote. We still have time up to 5 p.m. Let them come out and vote so that their vote can count. This constituency has been known to be very, very organized constituency and very, very peaceful. I'm happy that that situation is being sustained. I don't want to say anything more than that, other than to commend the IBC for the manner in which they have managed this process so far. We have the fullest confidence possible in the IBC as currently constituted. Many Kenyans, of course, know that this IBC team is newly placed in office. It hasn't taken long since it was inaugurated. But going by what I've seen so far, they have mastered the game. And I only hope that this will continue. There can be no perfection. I mean, 100% perfection. Yes, there could be teething problems here and there. There could be hitches here and there. But that is the exception rather than the rule. So I think we must commend the IBC, headed by the chairman, Mr. Ethekon, and his entire structure. We want Kenyans to give the IBC space and time to execute its constitutional mandate, rather than keeping harassing the commission, left, right, and center. Okay? We want leaders to show the way by giving the public hope that our institutions of democracy even though they are nascent, they can be made to work. They can be made to work, okay? I don't want to respond to allegations, some of which were made yesterday by the leaders of the so-called united opposition. Some of them made very outrageous remarks, especially one of them, yes, about possible attempts to create an artificial blackout. Nothing could be further from the truth. Yes. I want to disabuse anybody of any such notion. As government, we remain apolitical. As a ministry, together with our agencies, we serve all Kenyans. We don't take political sides. But as a person, being a politician, I have a right to take a political position on many issues. Yes, like this one of Ugunja, you know. I don't need to say anymore. Yes. Yeah.
Unfortunately, peace and orderly cannot be spoken when it comes to the other areas like Kasipul, where we witnessed a lot of violence. As a national leader, I don't know whether you want to
well,
on what is happening.
It is, I don't know about Malava, but I've heard about Kasipul. Yes. It's a matter of concern to us, all of us leaders from this region. And I want to appeal for calm. Not only in Kasipul, but everywhere else. And let leaders lead by example. Leaders of all political persuasions lead by example. Elections cannot be a matter of life and death. Elections cannot be an end in themselves. Elections are simply but a means to an end. And an end here is good governance, service delivery to the people. And there can only be one winner in any election. Like here in Ugunja. Here, ODM will win, I'm certain, okay? But even those who will lose will have a chance next time to run or to contest, okay? I don't know how the outcome in other constituencies, but at least here I know, because I'm voting here, okay? So we cannot make elections become a matter of life and death. Let us allow democracy to take its course, okay? Let us allow people to exercise their right without being put under unnecessary pressure. Let us not intimidate voters. Let us allow voters to vote freely in the manner it's happening here, okay? And ultimately, let the votes be counted and the winner be proclaimed. Yeah, and those who lose to go home peacefully, knowing that they have another chance some other time, okay? Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, go with the question. I think you're good.
You're good. But I'm sure you know this is a sign of things to come. Sure. You know that. Sure. These people will vote as a block.
Opio Ndai, the Cabinet Secretary for Energy and Petroleum, speaking to members of the press from Ugunja constituency. He's just voted. You remember he's the immediate former member of parliament in that constituency. But of course the seat became vacant after his appointment to that docket by President William Ruto in the broad-based arrangement. Of course, we still have our eyes in Magarini as well as Malava and Baringo, Mbeere North, and of course these are the areas where these by-elections are happening. I want us to escalate this conversation a little bit and talk about these by-elections, of course, happening across the country, being a litmus test, Daktari, for the strength of parties. We have new kids in the block like the DCP party led by Rigathi Gachagua. We have the Kenya Moja movement actually participating in these by-elections for the first time. And you've seen quite a number again becoming independent candidates. Can we use these by-elections as a litmus test for these parties? I know we agreed the high stakes are for IEBC, but then let's talk about political parties, the stakes for political parties.
We may use it as a litmus test, but we may not use it as well.
Yes.
The reason as to why I'm putting the two perspectives into place is the fact that, you know, the general election plays a very crucial role in terms of candidature for a political party. What happens mostly is that if you want to bid for a certain political party, and this political party is being owned by an individual or a group of people, and they will just dish it out to the candidate or the highest bidder, like it happened in 2022 for Jubilee. They never looked for anyone who would want to go and win the seat, but they started selling out the tickets. So the highest bidders were given, and they came up with nothing. The pressure, the fact that if you are not certain with getting a ticket for your race, then you may decide to go for an independent position. Therefore, at that particular time, because of the number and the pressure that is involved, because of the political party's interest, because of the ruling party's interest, quite a number of people will look at the bigger picture and the bigger political parties that they think will give them a mileage when they get that ticket. That is one. Number two, if that does not happen and you are certain that you don't get these bigger political parties, you may go for the second in the race, or a third one. So that is actually in order. But this particular one, the show is just individualized, where, for example, the ruling party, if they secure the seat for Mbeere North, then the people of Mbeere North, particularly the leaders in the government, will prove to the ruling party that they are actually in control of the grassroots voters, with all those other challenges that people talk about, or fights and those violences. So long as the political, the ruling party wins in that particular place, then they will carry, the credit will go to individuals who are coming, political opinion leaders who are coming from that locality. Similarly, there are two concepts for the opposition and a concept for the same scenario, that the leaders locally will be crowned if they win that, and then of course it will come out very clearly that they are actually holding the ground, and therefore they will be in a position to push the ruling party. That gives now a momentum for any leader who wants to go into a race for 2027 in Mbeere, for example. I'm just using Mbeere as an example. If the oppositions gain the seat, meaning DP, and the party leader is my former friend, former AG and Public Service Minister and the Speaker, then people will assume that he is actually in control of that particular area. So at that particular time, it doesn't give the bigger picture of the opposition, but it gives an individual credit to tell or signal that indeed this is a person who can have a control over the local votes in that particular area. And therefore, the aspect of the bigger picture where we look at the 2027 and the way to go in terms of which political party to go to, I think will have minimal impact on the current by-elections. And therefore, my thoughts on this is that as much as it will going to enhance opposition's perspective from where the opposition feel like they are in control in certain localities, the credit goes to individual leaders who come from that specific area. But don't forget one thing. If the current DCP, these are political parties which were formed after 2025, not DP. And that's why I think they missed out to take a candidate of DCP to that particular locality and gave a shot to DP, which was a party which was occupying that seat. That means they are not still certain. They are not sure whether they are able to collect anything. But if there is any party, political party that has been formed after 2022 general election, secure a seat, then that gives them a mileage that indeed the party will get publicity. The party people might think is a party that oppositions will have to ride on. So there are all those perspectives. But the bottom line is that it is too small. The by-elections are too small for us to magnify and say either the opposition has the ground or they get mileage, or the ruling party has a certain significant mileage in certain locality where they had never had any where they never had any representation.
All right, let's hear from Reverend. The stakes, as we move towards 2027, the outcome of these by-elections, would they involve decision-making in the 2027 elections, or like Dr. Hassan appears to say there's a passing cloud and then the decisions will be made later?
I don't think it'll be a passing cloud. First of all, do we have political parties or we have political chiefs? Because where we are in the country is too much of political chiefs and the community where they were born. And then they call it political parties. And that is why right now in Mbere, we thought we are thinking about Mbere people so that they can elect a leader they trust. We leave them alone. But what has happened? The side shows that have been in Mbere for the last 3 weeks, it was to manipulate, dominate them so that they worship an individual chief at the expense of their own development person. So we might end up in Mbere electing a particular person, an arch.
The godfathers.
I didn't want to say archbishop, but an arch politician there. They might end up electing an arch politician there instead of electing a competent person on the ground. And this now where we need to ask ourselves, where are we really as Kenyans? Do we really need to emphasize on political parties? If we are going to have political parties, we need to go down on the grassroots, on the round table and agree. Maybe I would suggest we go and get a conclave. There was a suggestion of a conclave. A conclave needs to be there so that we need to agree. What is this political party? Who is supposed to do what? Because where we are now, it is a political chief to come up. This chief comes up and says, here I am. That's why I'll ask you, why would an old man of my age come all the way 40 miles, 70 miles away to be in somebody's house at 8 taking a cup of tea? And yet that person knows exactly what he has come for. Why would somebody stand all day, all week, shouting some stuffs that will wonder now, why would I drop a pastor, drop to go and play games with the young children in the market? And yet these people, they have the mind, they are smart, they can make a decision. So chiefs are playing games to manipulate and dominate Kenyans. And that's why we, from my constituency, we have said, Gen Zs, don't mind about those chiefs. Now come and occupy the church.
What is your constituency?
My constituency, we call it the church constituency.
Oh, the church constituency.
My constituency is the National Council of Churches of Kenya. In our constituency where we belong, we are saying Gen Zs, like those one there, come and occupy the church. And then from there, after you occupy, don't occupy these people on the streets. Come and occupy the church. Then we make a decision. So that from there we'll have logical. We'll tell political chiefs, please stand aside. This is our country. This is our constituency. We make the right decision.
All right. Dr. On the political parties, and I know I will have a follow-up question immediately after you're done with the submissions.
Yes.
Will this influence the decisions to be made in future elections? Are the stakes that high for the parties participating in these mini polls?
Yeah, the stakes are high, and I told you, and I will repeat that all over and over again. The stakes are very high. But then, this is a test of political strength towards 2027.
It's flexing muscles.
They're flexing, and they'll get there either way. It is important to note that we have institutions in the country, and especially ORPP, that is mandated to actually make sure that we have political parties and people who are looking for positions to govern the country. They go through the political parties or independent. But then, this particular by-election is going to be a validation to see how they are going to act, even in power sharing, going forward. Because you can find, like now you see United Opposition has fielded a candidate through DP. I'm sure they negotiated. It was not, anybody would have done that. But then...
DCP actually had a candidate.
Yes, so those allies, they have to be strengthened right from now. But then how they are strengthened is another ball game, you know, because some people will be left feeling, no, I was supposed to be the one. The other challenge, the other thing is that we'll be seeing with this by-election particularly whether we are strengthening our electoral institutions or we are undermining them. If this happens and God forbid, if IEBC is by any chance viewed like it was partisan or it was compromised or something happens because of them, then we'll be undermining our institutions. Lastly, we want to look at the new voter bloc, and that is the Gen Zs. We want to see the new voters who didn't vote even 2022. We want to see how is it going to come out. But then it's just a by-election, and many people, they go to the village to vote, and they're in the cities. So I wonder how many people have traveled to go and vote. But looking at the stakes the way they are, and the political parties, they want to redeem themselves and flex, and they want to communicate to the public and maybe get the public needs to actually view them in another way, and they want to show them there is democracy, they want to show them there is some balancing of some sort. That has to be, that is something that we are also watching. But bottom line, by the end of today and tomorrow, because I don't think there will be votes that will be coming from Tharaka or wherever. They are actually localized now. There's nothing that will be coming from wherever. It is just that. So we expect the result to be released.
Okay.
Yes, so
we want to, it's important we clarify that according to the IEBC, they're going to use the certified register of 2022. There's a likelihood that the Gen Z voters that we're talking about that have actually registered
they may
as
not
2022
vote.
Will not be participating in this mini polls. But I wanted to do a follow-up very quickly with you.
Yes.
Particularly in Mbeere North, because you've said your party has a candidate there. And regarding what Dr. Isaac had said, that it may not necessarily shape the elections of 2027, because I'm wondering whether DCP, for example, wait a minute, whether DCP, for example, would cede that position again to DP, for example,
in 2027.
In 2027.
The truth is, politics are local, and therefore, if in your region a certain political party is the one that is dominant, if you get a ticket through that party, you are halfway in. That is the truth. Then you can do a quota, and you'll be done. That is the truth. United opposition, if they they have fielded a candidate for DP.
Is United Opposition a registered political party?
No. You see,
it's an outfit.
We're going to have we're going to have coalitions and all that.
Yes.
And out of those coalitions, that's where you get these political parties independently.
You will zone.
No, not even about zoning, but they must come together, because if they do not come together, then we'll field so many candidates within the opposition. And I'm sure even UDA, it may not be the political party of the day, 2027. So wherever they will go, whichever way, they must come to a compromise and agree. If we're in united opposition, if for sure we want to retain this seat, why don't we just have this? And that is where I talked about power sharing. Power sharing now, it's something that has to be discussed. So I'm on the question that you asked. How about political parties that are dominant in a certain region? If you get that, definitely you are halfway in. The other thing is, in my view, we will have shifts, regional shifts from different political parties. Maybe because some people are agitated, they didn't get the ticket, or maybe they want to align themselves to the party that has won. So there will be a lot of shifting and all that
in 2027.
In 2027. Okay. And therefore this one in particular, in terms of political parties, it is shaping 2027. But in terms of who comes in 2027, that is something we are going to work in the next 2 years.
All right. Let's talk. I want us.
But from
I'll bring the question to you so that you respond.
Okay.
Because as you respond to that, Reverend talked about the political archbishops. And I think the stakes are high for them today.
Not bishop, archchiefs.
whatever you call them.
The challenge of a bishop getting into politics now.
The question is, Dr. Isaac, even you respond to what Dr. Shage has said. The question of the margins of this election and what they will mean for these political archbishops. You're calling them political chiefs?
Archchiefs.
Archchiefs. And what it will mean for this archchiefs in this by-election.
Yeah, I think before I move on first, I just wanted to clarify one thing my sister has said, Dr. Chege. In regards to the united opposition, I can see she has put a very good wish. You know, it is good always to have a wish list. But from the way the united opposition team are organized, I don't think if there's anything that they're going to agree on in 2027 in regards to coalition. The reason is, one, let me give you the perspective and the dynamics of how our politics is.
Too early to cast a spell?
Imagine.
No. Our politics is designed in a manner that one will feel he's senior in certain domain. For example, Raila Amolo Odinga, the late, is gone. The second person who feels himself that he's the most senior person in Kenyan politics is Kalonzo Musyoka. And if you look at the team, for example, look at Rigathi Gachagua. He's not a senior political architect in Kenya. In the face of Kalonzo Musyoka.
He's not.
Go and see Matiang'i. Go and see Wamalwa. Even my friend Justin Muturi. So when you look at such kind of group, they view Kalonzo Musyoka as a threat. And Kalonzo Musyoka will have been the one who will have had a high stake in the opposition battle. They will never accept him to lead that team. Mother Karua, she doesn't believe in Kalonzo Musyoka. Why?
How do you know?
No. I'm just giving you the reason, the way it is. Because, you know, when you have been together in a coalition and something happens, people come back together and make rearrangement. But everybody went back to his own outfit. You see, she rebranded her party. He rebranded his party. Rigathi Gachagua came up with his new party. Now, the mantle of Jubilee has been given to Matiang'i.
Yes.
So, you know, Justin Muturi has his own party. So, you know, sometimes people say, if you want to become strong, be together. But if your outfit does not translate to togetherness, then you will get nowhere. Because togetherness is the thing that makes a block.
Okay.
Now, coming to your point,
yes,
the kings or the acts of
archchiefs,
yes, as Reverend has put it, is the same thing I was talking about. If it is Mbere, the people who will carry the day is either, what is his name, my friend, Roku, or what is his name, Muturi.
Yes.
So, whichever the results reads, this will be the king chiefs or the archchiefs of that area.
Okay.
So you should look at it from that perspective. What do you own? You know, the late Raila Amolo Odinga became a statesman. The fact that he was delivering. He tells you will become a member of parliament, you will become a governor, and you will be. Meaning he has won the heart of his backyard. And that is why there was no much election after securing your ODM ticket. So this is the scenario that people look at. We had a similar one in Mandera County where the former governor, Ali Ibrahim Roba, also made his own outfit in regards to a party called UDM for Mandera.
And defied elders,
and defied elders. And therefore, these are the things that Reverend is talking about. And there's no way we can go away from this. Even me, in Mandera West constituency, I want to become an authority. I want to decide who becomes an MCA, who becomes the next, who will they going to elect as a president, whom will they going to elect as a governor or a senator.
And I know you're working that.
It is, yeah. So the architects of our political design is you know, organized in a manner that one must be a kingpin within his own area. And that's the only time you get that particular recognition.
All right.
So when he says We have a lot of chiefs. Of course, these are the things that who are making the chiefs who are making leaders in this country.
All right.
And that's why sometimes the so-called negotiated democracy, which we went on a different, we didn't look at the implication later. Because the idea in the first step was a very good one. But we didn't look at the implication of the future generations' leadership procedures, because these leaders or elders we have put in place to lead the process of the community and make decisions on who becomes their leader became brokers. So we went into another crisis now, where they look for resources, and whoever gives them resources is the one they will want to support in. So these kingpins modalities is an African thing. We are never independent as an individual. We can always be either leaning towards a political party, you can become an outfit of a political party, or a tribe, or what do we call, a region.
Okay.
And that's why my brother, former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, has lost the grip of the leadership of Kenya, because he decided to take himself to a small backyard. And that's why, for me, he is not of my interest if he wants to become a leader in this country, because he has already translated into a regional kingpin rather than a national leader.
All right.
So basically that is where we are looking at.
Certainly, yeah, we want to head over to Magarini constituency of Kilifi County. That's where, again, there's another by-election. Is she ready? Do we have Kasichana from Magarini constituency of Kilifi County? Again, I have a battle shaping up there. We have a DCP candidate, an ODM candidate, there are other independent candidates, and of course other parties that have sponsored candidates. And it looks in some of these battlegrounds like it was just a broad-based against the united opposition in some of these areas. If she's not ready, then okay, we have her. Kasichana, good afternoon. Is it afternoon?
Good afternoon to you, Jacob Kioria, lakini niruhusu nibadilishe lugha kidogo, nitumie lugha ya Kiswahili. Asante sana. Jina langu ikiwa ni Kasichana Masha, nikiwa nakujia moja kwa moja kutoka shule ya Mapimo ama shule ya kiufundi ya Mapimo, ambapo zoezi zima la uhesabu wa kura litakuwa linafanyika katika kituo hiki, lakini pia vile kuna baadhi tu ya vituo vya kupigia kura za vituo 6 ambavyo viko katika eneo hili, na wakazi ama wapigaji kura walikuwa wanatarajiwa kuja kupiga kura katika eneo hili. Lakini niruhusu tu kwa dakika chache kidogo nizungumze tu na katibu mkuu wa chama cha Roots Party aweze kutuelezea tu ni yapi ambaye ameweza kushuhudia kwenye zoezi zima hili la upigaji kura, yapi ambaye ameshuhudia, kuna pengine changamoto yote ambayo ameweza kukumbana nayo, na ana wito gani kwa wakazi, kwa sababu inasemekana kwamba idadi ya wakazi ambao walikuwa wanatarajiwa kujitokeza kupiga kura haikuwa nzuri vile. Karibu sana, tafadhali utajitambulisha jina lako alafu tuambie ni yapi ambayo umeshuhudia siku ya leo. Karibu.
Yes, asante sana. Kwa majina naitwa Cecil Mila, katibu mkuu wa chama cha Roots Party of Kenya. Leo tuko Magarini by election, na nimekuja Constituency Tallying Center hapa kufanya observation ya kura, na tulikuwa na candidate wetu anaitwa Karisa Hamadi Chadi ambaye ameweza kupiga kura yake kule Markebuni Primary School. Nimeweza kutembea pia vituo kadhaa vya kupiga kura. Nimeenda Garashi, nikaingia Marafa kidogo, na one observation nimeona ni kwamba voter turnout iko very low. So all the stations nimeenda kama 4 polling stations, nimepata there's no line anywhere at all. So napenda ku-encourage watu wa Magarini, tafadhali mtoke nje mpige kura, kwa sababu kura yenu ni nguvu yenu. So pia nime-notice like 3 different polling stations. Kuna watu wengi sana, watu wa miaka mingi, wazee, wameweza kutolewa pale kwa sababu ni kwamba hawajaweza kupata majina yao kwenye orodha ya wapiga kura kwa hivyo vituo vya kupiga kura. So tunaomba IBC ya kwamba mko na kazi ya kufanya voter verification. Mngefanya hiyo kabla hata siku ya leo, kwa sababu sasa mtaweza kuzuia watu wengi sana wasiweze kupiga kura yao. Na limeongea na mmoja pale mzee yosema kwamba hana fare kwenda another polling station yenye iko based almost kilomita kama 20 kutoka hapa. So tunaomba sana IBC wafanye voter verification. Leo wamekosea, lakini kura ya 2027 waweze kujiandaa vilivyo na waweze tufanye verification ndio watu waweze kujitokelezea venye nafaa.
Vyema kabisa. Asante sana na tunawatakia kila laheri katika chama chenu. Naam, acha tu nikupeleke mojawapo ya vituo vya upigaji kura katika ama kituo hiki cha mafunzo cha Mapimo hapa eneo bunge la Magarini, kaunti ya Kilifi. Na kama nilivyokuambia hapo awali ni kwamba kuna vituo vya kupiga kura 6 katika chuo hiki cha kiufundi, na kila mpangilio wa laini ama zile streams ambazo zilikuwa zinafaa ziwe stream 6 kulikuwa kunatarajiwa kuwa na wapigaji kura 653, lakini kulingana na vile tulivyoambiwa na wasimamizi wa kura hizi ama wasimamizi wa uchaguzi huu ni kwamba idadi ya wapigaji kura bado iko chini, na kama unavyoona kila mpigaji kura anapoingia basi kuna hapa atakuja patane na karani huyu ambaye ataweza kuangalia taarifa za kwake kama zinaambatana na zile taarifa ambazo zimeweza kunakiliwa na tume hii ya IEBC. Alafu vile vile pia bado atakuja angalie hapa ama achukue karatasi ya kupigia kura aweze kujiangalilia yule kiongozi ambaye angependa kuweza kumpigia kura. Lakini changamoto kubwa imetokea pale kwenye kile kifaa cha kuweza kukagua za kuweza kukagua taarifa za yule mpigaji kura, na kwamba wengi walikuwa wanalalamika kwamba matokeo yao ama majina yao haya masura zao haziambatani na yale ama ule usajili ambao umeweza kufanywa. Na baada ya mpigaji kura kuchukua karatasi ya kupiga kura, basi atakuja hadi hapa mahali hapa ambapo kumewekwa kalamu hii, ambapo ataweza kuweka tu ile alama ya tiki ya yule mpigaji kura ambaye ama yule mgombea ambaye angetaka kumpigia kura siku ya leo, ambaye atakuwa mwakilishi wake. Na baada ya hapo karatasi hiyo ya upigaji kura atakuja aiweke katika boksi hili ambalo linaekwa ama linakusanya karatasi zote za kupiga kura. Na baada ya hapo basi, mtazamaji, mpigaji kura pia atapata fursa kuja hapa kwa huyu mwanadada ambaye atamweka alama ya kidole kuonyesha tu kwamba yeye amepiga kura. Kama unavyoona, hawa tu ni baadhi tu ya mpiga kura ambaye amejitokeza pale. Kama unavyoona, wengi changamoto yao kubwa ilikuwa hiyo vidole, alama za vidole zilikuwa haziambatani, lakini kama ulivyoona huyo yake imeenda vizuri. Hivyo basi akitoka pale baada ya kukaguliwa stakabadhi zake zote kuona tu kama zinaambatana na zile za usajili wa IEBC kama unavyoona, basi anaenda pale, anaenda kupewa karatasi ya kupiga kura. Na baada ya hapo basi ataenda pale kwenye kiboksi pale kando, manake ni siri yake, hakuna mtu yote anafaa kuona, hakuna mtu yote anafaa kujua kama ni mgombea yupi ambaye anaenda kumpigia kura. Kinyang'anyiro hiki kimeweza kuvutia wagombeaji takriban 10 wa vyama tofauti tofauti. Kuna wagombeaji wa chama cha ODM, kuna wagombeaji wa chama cha DCP, chama cha ANC, chama cha Roots Party, chama cha FPK na vinginevyo. Na hivyo basi katika eneo bunge hili la Magarini, kama ulivyosikia tu kwa yule katibu mkuu wa chama cha Roots Party, ni kwamba wapigaji kura hawajaweza kujitokeza vilivyo kama walivyotarajia, kwa sababu eneo bunge hili lilikuwa na wapigaji kura ama waliosajiliwa kupiga kura ilikuwa wakazi 80,126. Na pia mtazamaji, kama unavyoona, unaweza kuwa unajiuliza kwa nini huyu mpigaji kura ameweza kukwama pale, lakini anapewa ruhusa ama anapewa muda na kuna fursa ya kuweza kuonyeshwa ama kusaidiwa endapo anataka kusaidiwa kuelewa tu zile karatasi zinasema nini. Endapo pengine hajaweza kusoma vizuri, basi anapata fursa hiyo na anaelekezwa pale vizuri na wasimamizi wasimamizi wa uchaguzi huu katika kituo hiki. Naam, ni hayo tu, pengine ni kuonyesha tu hapa nje, kwa sababu ukiangalia katika hivi vituo 6 ambavyo viko hapa, mtazamaji, ni kwamba idadi ya wakazi sio wengi. Sasa hivi ni mkazi tu mmoja ambaye anaingia. Kama mpigaji picha wangu anaweza kuonyesha, lango kuu liko huko ambako kule kuna mama ambaye anatembea kuelekea huko kwenye lango kuu. Hivyo basi watu ukiangalia ni mmoja kwa umbali, unaona tu mama mmoja anaingia na kuja napiga kura. Baada hapo wasimamizi wa kupiga kura ama wale makarani wanakaa muda mrefu bila mpigaji kura mwingine kujitokeza. Sasa hivyo basi ombi kubwa kwa wakazi ama wale wapigaji kura waliojisajili ni kwamba waweze kujitokeza kuja kuweza kupiga kura. kura zao hapa katika eneo bunge hili la Magarini ili kuweza kupata tu kiongozi wao, kwa sababu tunajua kwamba ama tunafahamu kwamba eneo hili limebaki bila kiongozi kwa zaidi ya takriban miaka miwili baada ya zile kura kutupiliwa mbali ama matokeo ya kura ya uchaguzi mwaka 2022 ya eneo bunge hili kuweza kutupwa mbali kwa sababu tu ya changamoto ambazo zilibuka wakati huo, ikiwepo madai ya udanganyifu katika wizi huo, katika uchaguzi huo. Lakini kulingana na msimamizi mkuu wa uchaguzi huu Bwana Mafondo, ambaye amesema tutakuwa naye mwendo wa saa 7 mchana ili kuweza kujibu tu baadhi ya yale malalamisho ama baadhi ya zile changamoto ambazo zimeshuhudiwa hapa. Kama yule katibu alivyosema, ni kwamba baadhi ya wazee wameambiwa kwamba wameweza kurudishwa kwenda kupiga kura katika vituo tofauti ambavyo wanasema hawakuwa wameelimishwa hapo awali, kwamba pengine kulikuwa na mabadiliko tofauti ama pengine hali changamoto ni gani, ama kuelekezwa tu majina yao hayapo hapa. Hivyo basi wazee wengi ndio wamepata changamoto hiyo ya kuweza kuondolewa kutoka kituo fulani hadi kupelekwa kituo kingine. Lakini mbali na hiyo, changamoto nyingine ambayo tumeweza kukumbana nayo ni kwamba baadhi ya wapigaji kura walikuwa wanalalamika kwamba yale majina ambayo yanajitokeza kwenye sajili ya IEBC hayaambatani na yale majina yao ya kwenye kitambulisho, ama wengine majina ni yale yale lakini unapata kwamba sura ni tofauti. Kuna kisa kimoja ambacho tumeweza kukishuhudia siku ya leo cha mama mmoja ambaye alikuwa anasema katika eneo lile la katika kituo fulani cha kupiga kura hapa, ambapo akaweza kulalamika kwamba jina lake lilikuwa lile lile, alikuwa anafahamika kama Bi Agnes Juma, lakini alipoenda kuangalia picha kaleta ya mwanamume. Lakini hayo ndio maswali ambayo tumeweza kumuuliza msimamizi mkuu wa uchaguzi huu katika eneo bunge la Magarini Bwana Mafondo, na ametuahidi kwamba atatuelezea hayo yote na kufafanulia kwa nini hizi changamoto zote zimeibuka na zimesababishwa na nini. Kutoka kwangu Kasina Masha sina la ziada, ila tu wito kwa wakazi bado umebaki ule ule, wamehimizwa kwamba waweze kujitokeza ili waweze kuchagua yule kiongozi ambaye wangejua ama wanauamini ama wanamwamini kama ataweza kuwa msimamizi wao, atakuwa mwakilishi wao katika bunge la kitaifa. Sina la ziada, narudisha usukani kwako Jacob Kiora. Asante, tupatane mwendo wa saa 7 mchana.
Sana mwenzangu Kasichana Masha kutoka eneo bunge la Magarini ambako pia uchaguzi mdogo unaendelea, wakitafuta kumchagua atakayewaongoza kwa muda uliobaki wa miaka hii mitano baada ya uchaguzi wa aliyekuwa mbunge hapo kutupiliwa mbali. Ni mmoja wale ambao wanawania kiti hicho katika eneo bunge hilo. I want us to bring it back to studio. We close it for a while and then hand back over to the Tamrini team. So we'll take closing remarks starting from you, Reverend. 1 minute each and then we finish up.
I want to say this. Kenyans, let's stick to the Constitution. We, from the Christian perspective, we use the scripture, and all Kenyans, we are ranked under the Constitution. Let not political class move Kenyans, push Kenyans until they look for other ways to be able to change management of the country apart from the constitutional ways. Because the way things are going, if we are going to manipulate, kill one another, ban vehicles, then what we are telling Gen Z is that we must use other ways to change systems, to change management of the country. So Kenyans, please, I beg you, let's look for ways and means to stick under the Constitution. Let's point somebody, if somebody is not using the Constitution, IBC, stick with the Constitution. Police, stick to the Constitution. Everybody who is in Kenya, let's stick to the Constitution. The problem in our sister country is that it's about their Constitution. But we have a progressive Constitution we need to stick under.
All right. Dr. Shege?
Yes. Thank you so much. And my word to all Kenyans this morning, this afternoon, is that let us follow the law. We have a country to protect, we have individuals to protect, we have families to protect, and we have a life to live. It's not, this by-elections does not mean the end of one's life. And therefore, it is very important to look at the future. Let us be futuristic, because we will have Kenya tomorrow. We will have your family tomorrow. You'll have your church tomorrow. We will have all the media houses tomorrow. And therefore, after the by-elections and when the dust is settled, let's go back to work so that we can be able to build our country and build our lives. Because by the end of the day, politics and the political parties and the two horses that they are envisioned, they're not going to bring food on your table. Those that have been able to take bribes is unfortunate, because that is not the right way. Those that have been able to bribe, it is also unfortunate, because we should be able to campaign and give our ideas without actually bribing the voters or giving them the money. Otherwise, God bless you. Until then, let's see the outcome of the by-elections.
Absolutely. Dr. Isaac?
I think a lot has been said about the by-election. But my message is that a by-election is not a war. It is a moment for our dignity, speak with respect, and disagree without hatred. No election is worth breaking the peace of a community. And we wish the voters a very successful process, and we wish those who are looking for the seats success as they wait from their voters. And I'll just stop there. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. Isa, you want to put a cap at this point? Actually, from some pictures I'm seeing in Banisa, it's quite an encouraging turnout in terms of voters in Banisa constituency of Mandera County. But then I think it's the only constituency that has stayed without a representative for quite a long time. Among the other by-elections that are being done. 2 years since the death of their MP.
6 months into 2022 election.
We lost their member of parliament. So I think you can understand the enthusiasm with which they have turned out to vote for the next.
Actually, it might be different. It's not about the long period without leader. The dynamics of our area is so complex. Now we have three forces. One are clan dynamics. One we have the UDA dynamics, and the UDM, the former party that the late was riding on as a vehicle.
Quite interesting. Then we'll see how it pans out. This is how we put a cap at this point on a news check. Of course, I'll be back at 1 p.m. all the way till 2:20, again, as we look at the by-elections and the way they're going. We'll release Dr. Isaac, but I'm sure we'll be back here with Reverend and Dr. Shege as we continue with this analysis. For now, ni wakati wa kuangalia matangazo haya kwa lugha ya Kiswahili. Sheila yuko area. See you later.
Life expectancy in Japan is among the highest in the world. Japanese men live on average to 82 and women to 88. The secret to this longevity is to be found in everyday life. It's long been known that exercise is effective at maintaining health. Japan's Radio Taiso program dates back to 1928. This morning radio broadcast guides people through a system of calisthenic exercises set to music. The program is still immensely popular, with people of all ages gathering each morning to start their day by working out together. Exercising daily also makes people more aware of their health. I had an operation on my shoulder and it left me with a lot of pain. The arm swinging exercises got rid of the ache in my shoulder. Regular daily exercise within your personal ability is one sure key to good health. If you don't use your body, of course you'll start to get aches in your muscles and joints. Exercise done within the range where it doesn't cause pain is the best way to maintain health and functionality. Another thing about Japan is that most people here get a comprehensive annual health checkup. For a long time, Japanese companies have considered it their duty to provide health checks for their employees. Annual checkups are highly effective in spotting health problems before they become serious. Regular medical exams let us discover any problems while they're still at an early stage. This makes them far easier and quicker to treat. Daily exercise and catching illnesses early help keep people healthy. Just as important are Japanese eating habits. The traditional Japanese meal is said to consist of soup and 3 dishes. These are in addition to rice, of course. A main dish of fish or meat is accompanied by side dishes chosen from a wide range of healthy ingredients. And no Japanese meal would feel complete without miso soup, made from fermented soybeans. A typical Japanese meal is well balanced with all the nutrients our body needs. Ikeda Reiko, now 84, has long devoted herself to promoting the value of Japanese food culture. She's a firm believer in teaching children about nutritionally balanced meals so they develop healthy eating habits. We must teach the new generation about our food tradition. Today's children need to know the benefits of the balanced approach to food that I was taught as a child. Most Japanese schools now have classes in nutrition and healthy eating habits called shoku-iku. Ikeda, still vigorous in her 80s, attributes her good health to more than just diet, though. The key is to have a goal in life, something you've set your heart on and will never stop trying to achieve. This will give purpose to your days and you'll always stay motivated and full of energy. Many in Japan today can expect to live to over 100. But the most important thing is to be able to enjoy life right to the end. That's where having a goal helps. I think it's really important for every senior to have their own goals, their personal objectives. It's not enough to simply live long and stay healthy. We should also want to accomplish something that gives meaning to our time on Earth. More and more people are thinking this way. Staying healthy, active and motivated. The key to a long and fulfilling life.
Na mtazamaji, hayawi mwishowe huwa. Itakuwaje? Ishakuwa hivi leo tarehe 27 mwezi Novemba mwaka 2025, miezi miwili tu baada ya wapiga kura ama kampeni za mpigo za wagombeaji pamoja na wandani wao kuweza kuwashawishi wapiga kura kuwapigia kura. Na hivi leo wanahabari wetu wako katika maeneo mbalimbali ya uchaguzi humu nchini, watakuwa wanatuletea uhalisia wa mambo. Alafu pia tume ya uchaguzi na mipaka IEBC iko ngangari, iko katika maeneo hayo kusimamia uchaguzi huo. Maafisa wa polisi pia nao wako ngangari kuweza kulinda usalama, na pia wanahabari wetu pia wako pale jinsi nilivyoweza kukueleza. Nasi hapa studioni tunaye Sami Meli ambaye ni mtaalam wa uongozi na pia mchanganuzi wa masuala ya siasa, na pia tunaye kijana chipukizi Peter Austin Ngui ambaye ni mwenyekiti wa Youth Youth Aspirants Movement, kwa Kiswahili ukipenda ni vuguvugu la vijana wawaniaji. Nami ni nahodha wako Sheila Kayaro-Yogo. Karibu tukidadavua tu mambo yalivyo pia kuhusiana na uchaguzi huu. Naam, Bwana Sami, karibuni sana kwenye studio na Peter.
Asante,
na
Sheila.
Uchaguzi huu tumeona kwamba umekuwa ukisubiriwa na wengi, na tunauliza kwamba kwa nini uchaguzi huu umekuwa na uzito sana, chaguzi hizi ndogo kuliko zile chaguzi za hapo awali?
Unajua chaguzi hizi ndogo zimefanyika wakati kila mtu hana shughuli nyingine isipokuwa kufanya chaguzi hizo, na pia chama tawala UDA pamoja na Kenya Kwanza inajipima nguvu, kuangalia kwanza kama Mlimani bado ana nguvu, kama katika maeneo ya magharibi ya nchi bado wako na nguvu. Pia wangetaka kuwa na wabunge katika bunge ambao wanaegemea upande wao. Kumbuka sera nyingi ambazo zinapitishwa katika bunge hutoka katika serikali kuu, na serikali kuu ikipata upinzani mkubwa, mara nyingi hata shughuli zao haziwezi kuendelea. Kwa hivyo wangetaka kuwa na wabunge wengi ili pia waendeleze ajenda zao za serikali shirikishi. Ukimwangalia kwa mfano kuondoka kwa Raila Odinga katika siasa hizi za humu nchini imeacha wengi wakiwa mayatima. Kwa hivyo sasa kuna barobaro wengi wamejitokeza kisiasa, wanataka kuonyesha ubabe wao katika maeneo tofauti tofauti. Kumbuka pia kwa mfano Musalia Mudavadi na Wetangula pia wangetaka kuonyesha kwamba bado wana nguvu katika maeneo ya magharibi. Aliyekuwa naibu wa rais Rigathi Gachagua pamoja na JB Muturi na kikundi chake cha United Opposition pia wangetaka kuonyesha watu kwamba ama kuonyesha serikali kwamba wameshika mizizi, na kuelekea mwaka wa 2027 basi huenda watapatia serikali kazi ngumu kupanda mlima. Lakini ikiwa serikali pia chama kinachoongoza kitapata kwa mfano kiti ambacho kiko kule mlimani, kwa bahati nzuri ama mbaya kwa wengine inategemea, basi watajua kwamba kumbe bado tuna ufuasi katika maeneo haya. Kwa hivyo ni kujipima nguvu bado.
Asante sana. Peter, yes. Austin Ngui, wewe kama mwenyekiti wa vuguvugu la vijana wawaniaji Youth Aspirants Movement, je, unaona kwamba uchaguzi huu una tofauti gani na ule uchaguzi wa pale awali? Manake siku hizi vijana wameweza kujitokeza na kusema kwamba pia wao wanataka wawe debeni.
Kuna tofauti kubwa ukilinganisha na hapo nyuma, kwa sababu saa hizi uchaguzi imekuja wakati one year to general election, na pia imekuja baada ya ile maandamano ya vijana ambayo pia ilitoa picha kubwa kwa wananchi kwa ujumla, kuonyesha kwamba vijana wako na nguvu zaidi kuliko watu opposition yenyewe. Saa hii vijana wengi hata katika hizi chaguzi ndogo, vijana wengi ndio wanagombea. Ukiangalia kama kule Magarini, Bomet, ni vijana tu wako mstari wa mbele kugombea hizi viti. Wanaona kama wanaacha nyuma kwa mambo ya uongozi wa nchi ikilinganishwa na huko nyuma. Sasa hivi wamechanuka zaidi. Ukiangalia teknolojia sasa hivi hapo nyuma, sasa hii teknolojia iko juu. Sasa hii hata vijana wanatumia simu for communication, kupeana habari kutoka Magarini na kule wengine wanashawishiana simama. Hii ushawishi vijana nafikiri ndio inawainua zaidi.
Naam, Bwana Meli, umesema kwamba huu uchaguzi utakuwa ni kama taswira ama kioo, ama tuseme kwamba itakuwa kurunzi ya kuweza kutuonyesha jinsi mambo yatakavyokuwa mwaka wa 2027 ambapo tutakuwa tunafanya uchaguzi mkuu. Lakini kwangu mimi naonelea kwamba mambo huenda yakabadilika. Manake huwezi sema kwamba kwa sababu kiongozi fulani ameweza kushinda kura basi chama chake ama muungano wake ndio utakuwa wenye kusema katika eneo fulani ama nchini wakati ule uchaguzi huo utakapokuwa ukifanyika.
Unajua, kujitathmini inamaanisha kwamba ukigundua kwamba ufuasi wako umeenda chini, basi utatia bidii. Kumbuka kura za Kiambaa, wakati tulipata chaguzi ndogo za Kiambaa ambapo Kawanjiko alikuja na alikuwa mbunge wa kwanza wa UDA. na hiyo ikaonyesha sura kwamba ikamkumbusha kwa, Rais William Ruto ambaye alikuwa naibu wa rais wakati huo kwamba anaweza, ikiwa ameweza kutikisa serikali basi anaweza. Kwa hivyo wale ambao wamejiondoa katika serikali wameingia katika upinzani, na serikali pia itatumia kujipima, na ikiwa itajipima basi itajiandaa kwenda mbele. Swali ni kwamba ikiwa umeona kwamba Mheshimiwa Rais amejitoa kabisa, ametumia sheria zile 48 za uongozi, kwamba kuna wakati unajiondoa kabisa,
unakuwa na ukimya,
ukimya fulani. Kwa hivyo ameweka ukimya fulani ili pia Kithure Kindiki aonekane, je, atahitajika wakati wa 2027 ama itabidi santuri hiyo ibadilishwe. Kwa wale ambao wanatoka magharibi, anaitwa nani, spika wa bunge na kiranja mkuu wa mawaziri bwana Mudavadi watajulikana ikiwa wakati wa 2007 kwenda mbele, je, rais itabidi sasa abadilishe sahani, atafute na tembea na kikundi chake cha Boni Khalwale, kwa sababu itaonekana wazi kufikia jioni ya leo ama kesho kwamba bado wana ushawishi ama ushawishi umekwisha. Kwa sababu ikiwa utatuma watu wako, wale ambao unajua ni vigogo wenzako, umewatuma, huyu umemtuma Mlimani atafute, kina Joho wametumwa Pwani watafute, hivyo ikiwa watarudisha sahani ambaye ama warudishe kikapu tupu, inamaanisha kwamba unastahili kutafuta mwingine, kwa sababu unamkumbuka Nuhu wakati wa gharika alifanya nini? Alituma nini? Ndege wa kwanza akaenda, kuna mwingine hakurudi, kuna mwingine alirudi na kitu. Kwa hivyo yule ambaye atarudi na kitu basi ataangaliwa vizuri. Na ukumbuke bado kuna mabadiliko ya baraza la mawaziri ambayo yamedhaniwa kwamba yatafanyika hivi karibuni. Kwa hivyo rais pia tangu kuondoka kwa Raila Odinga na lazima naye atajipanga, angalie ni nani nitamshika mkono kwenda mbele.
Naam. Peter Austin Ngui, wewe kama mwenyekiti wa hicho ama vuguvugu la vijana wawaniaji, naona kwamba nimekuwa nikitazama haya matukio ama jinsi mambo yalivyo katika huu uchaguzi ama chaguzi hizi ndogo, na pia tukizingatia hususan maeneo bunge, tunaona kwamba idadi ya wanawake ambao wameweza kujisajili ama kuwania viti hivi ni duni sana. Manake naona katika maeneo ya Magarini tunaye Sara Wahito wa Kenya Moja Movement, katika eneo la Ugunja, eneo bunge la Ugunja tunaye Liliana Kinyi wa National Alliance Party, na pia katika eneo la Kasipul tunaye Linda Aukouma Independent ambaye ni mwaniaji huru. Je, katika hili vuguvugu mnatumia njia gani kuhakikisha kwamba pia wanawake wanajumuisha? Manake tunaona kwamba hii idadi ni kiwango cha chini mno.
Kabla nikuja hapa, kwanza acha niongezee jambo hapa kuhusu hii uchaguzi ndogo ambayo ni kupima nguvu opposition na upande wa serikali. Iwapo opposition watashinda ama iwapo serikali itashinda kwa kiti yote ya hizi chaguzi, itategemea umeshinda kwa njia gani ama umeshinda kwa njia gani. Ukishinda kwa haki itamaanisha wewe umegombea, yani uko juu,
wewe ni kuhani,
wewe ni kingpin. Lakini iwapo utatumia njia zingine za wizi ama kuonga wapiga kura, utashinda lakini bado utakuwa una wafuasi. So kwa swali lako ambao lazima tuangazie vijana na wanawake kwa jumla, hiyo ni jambo ambalo tunaangalia sana, maana kulingana na katiba yetu lazima tuwe na kuhusisha kila mtu, wamama, vijana na walemavu pia, ambapo tunapigia debe zaidi wamama na walemavu waweze kusimama viti. Na sisi kama vijana tumesema tutaungana, iwapo kuna mama ama mwanamke yeyote ambaye anasimama mahali na ana uwezo, tutajitokeza kama vijana, tuende pale tumkampenia, tumpigie ndebe, tuone kwamba ameingia. Ijapokuwa mama, kuna picha ambayo imekuja baada ya uchaguzi wa Tanzania, kuna ile picha ambayo imekuja ya kuleta mama kama viumbe ambao hawajali zaidi mambo ya ubinadamu. Lakini hapa Kenya niko sure, siamini kama itakuwa kama vile Tanzania. Tutaunga mkono, tutaangalia. na iwapo watafuata mkondo wa Tanzania tutawatema pia na tuone vile tutafanya.
Swala hilo la Tanzania sioni kama ni kiashiria ama ni kigezo cha kuweza kuweka wanawake kwenye vipimo kuona kwamba wote wataelekea njia hiyo. Lakini bado nikisalia kwako, vijana wanasema kwamba mkitupa hizi kura tutaweza, na pia Wakenya kuna baadhi yao ambao wanatashwishi kuhusiana na wanasiasa. Wanasema kwamba wanasiasa ukiwapa kura wakija wakati ule wanataka kura wanakuwa wachochole, wanakuwa wanyenyekevu, kwamba wanataka tuwape kura, alafu wanaahidi mambo mengi. Hata mwimbaji mmoja akaimba akasema, Mr. Politician, mwaka juzi ulikuja ukaniomba kura, lakini saa hizi ukaahidi kwamba kutakuwa na elimu, lakini siku hizi hata simu haushiki. Mtatumia njia gani kuweza kuwashawishi Wakenya kuamini kwamba vijana wanaweza?
Na vijana kulingana na uchumi wa Kenya, wale watu ambao wameathirika zaidi na uchumi ni vijana, wamama na walemavu kulingana mimi. Kwa hivyo iwapo maana wamepitia zile shida ambazo mwananchi wa kawaida amepitia, sioni vile wataweza kufuata nyayo za wale ambao wamekuwepo kwa kunyanyaza wananchi. Nafikiri vijana wamesoma zaidi na wanajua athari za kutosikiza wananchi. Ndio maana unasikia kila mtu saini kama yani vijana wanasema wanasikiza vile wananchi wanasema. Na naamini watafuata hiyo mkondo na watafanya kulingana ile maagizo watakuwa wameagizana na wananchi wakati wa kampeni. Yeah.
Na Bwana Sami Meli, tukiangalia katika eneo bunge la Banisa, tunajua kwamba mbunge wa eneo hilo aliaga dunia kutokana na ajali ya barabarani, Bwana Kulo, na kwa hivyo kuna wagombeaji wawili ambaye ni Hamed Maalim Hassan na pia kuna Nurdin Maalim Mohamed. Lakini hapo mbeleni kuna mpiga kura mmoja ambaye aliwasilisha kesi mahakamani, akasema kwamba aliweza kupinga uhalali wa Hamed Maalim kuwania kiti hicho. Je, unaona kwamba alikuwa kuseme kwamba yale ambayo alikuwa anaelezea katika hiyo kesi ama malalamiko katika hiyo kesi alikuwa halali? Manake alisema kwamba Hamed Maalim Hassan yuko na uraia wa nchi mbili.
Nafikiri sheria ya Kenya inaruhusu mtu yeyote ambaye ana uraia wa Kenya kuwania kiti. Kwa mfano, tunaye Mheshimiwa Mishra, alikuwa mbunge wa pale sehemu ya Uasin Gishu, na kwa sababu hiyo alikuwa na uraia mbili. Sheria inasema kwamba rais tu na naibu wake ndio ambao hawaruhusiwi kuwa na uraia mara mbili. Ukiangalia tetesi hizo, unajua kuna wakati ambapo IBC inaangalia ikiwa umekuja na stakabadhi zako, zinakaguliwa, muda unachukuliwa, kisha unapewa majibu kwamba umeweza kuangaliwa na unatosha kuwania kiti. Kwa hivyo ikiwa maoni hayo yalitolewa mbeleni na yakaangaliwa na IBC kamwambia anaweza kuendelea kugombea kiti, inamaanisha kwamba ana uhalali wa kugombea kiti. Na ikiwa kungekuwa na shida, mahakama yetu mara nyingi inaenda polepole sana katika shughuli za kutafuta haki, na unaweza kupata hata wengine, kwa mfano kuna wengine hata kesi za kupinga uchaguzi wa wale ambao wako kwenye viti sasa bado zinaendelea mahakamani. Kwa hivyo ni ya rais tu ambaye imepewa muda mwafaka wa kumaliza kesi hiyo. Nafikiri kipengee maalum ambacho wabunge wangeweka ni kwamba muda fulani uwekwe wa kuamua kesi fulani ili kesi zisishinde mahakamani. Kwa mfano, kama kuna kesi kama hiyo, ingepewa certificate of urgency kuhakikisha kwamba imefanywa kabla chaguzi zifikiwe. Kwa sababu ikiwa atachaguliwa kwa bahati mzuri ama kwake iwe bahati mbaya kwa yule ambaye alikuwa anapinga achaguliwe, basi inamaanisha atakuwa kwenye kiti hadi kesi ile itaamuliwa, alafu aidha warudi tena uchaguzi. Na wakati mwingine ninaangalia chaguzi ndogo mara nyingi huleta changamoto. Kwa mfano uwakilishaji. Kuna maeneo bunge ambayo tangu tupige kura wa mwaka 2022 hadi sasa hawajakuwa na mbunge, kwa sababu aidha kesi hiyo ilitupiliwa mahakamani, aidha mbunge alikufa. Tungetaka IBC ichukue kila wakati iwe proactive kwamba jambo linatokea linasuluhishwa mara moja. Na labda kwa miaka mingine labda sheria iundwe kwamba yule ambaye alipata kura nyingi namba 2 katika uchaguzi achukuliwe, kwa sababu tutarudi tunapoteza wakati, tunaleta uhasama kwa nchi. Hebu angalia sasa yanayoendelea Malava, unasikia yanayoendelea ni umwagikaji wa damu ambao haustahili kuwa, kwa sababu ni mtu mmoja tu anaomba kazi. Na mtu huyu akishapewa kazi, mara nyingi jinsi ambavyo tunalia eti achukui simu zetu nini, watu wana shughuli nyingi, wabunge wana shughuli nyingi. Siwezi kuwalaumu kwamba wachukui simu. Kwa mfano sasa niko hapa kwenye studio, nikitoka hapa nitaenda shughuli zingine, nitakuwa ninashinda kuchukua simu za watu. Kumbuka eneo bunge lina watu zaidi ya 50,000. Ikiwa hata robo yao, hata ushuri wao wanipigie simu, nitachukua simu hizo zote? Unajua ni simu nyingi sana, na kila simu inakuja na shida maalum. Na rasilimali ambayo mbunge amepewa haitoshi kusuluhisha kila kitu. Kwa hivyo wananchi wakati mwingine waelewe kwamba rasilimali tulizonazo hazitoshi. Kwa hivyo tutafute mbinu nyingine za kutatua shida zetu. Kwa mfano kama umepata basari, hata kama ni kidogo, shukuru ili tusonge mbele. Kuna nafasi zingine, tuite kwenye harambe, tuite kwenye michango mingine, njia nyingine ya kusaidia. Ikiwa kila kitu tutamwekelea mbunge, na tuelewe kwamba mbunge ana kazi 3. Ana oversight, legislation, kisha na uwakilishi. Kwa hivyo ikiwa anawakilisha watu wake, kazi yake ni kuunda sheria, na kazi nyingine ni kuangalia serikali kuu inafanya kazi. Tumewalazimu mpaka wabunge, inakuwa vigumu kwao kufanya kazi yao. Kwa hivyo inabidi warudi katika serikali kuu kuomba, na wanaomba kisha wanapewa kwa njia ya CDF, ambayo pia tumetunga sheria ya kuwanyima tena kusimamia pesa hizi. Na
tukizingatia hilo swala la uwakilishi, kuna Wakenya ambao wanauliza kwamba iwapo mbunge hayupo, kama tuseme huku maeneo ya Banisa, eneo bunge la Banisa, wakati mbunge alipoaga dunia, so kapata kwamba hawana mwakilishi katika bunge, na pia wengi walikuwa na wasiwasi. Hata tuliona wengine wakijitokeza barabarani wakiandamana, wakisema kwamba wale watoto kutoka familia za kipato cha chini wanaweza kutatizika kupata elimu ama kufadhiliwa kielimu, manake hakuna mbunge wa kuwatetea. Na pia kulikuwa kuna mvua nyingi ambayo ilinyesha, na pia wakakuwa kwamba wanatatizika sana kutokana na hayo maafa. Je, swali ni hili, iwapo mbunge hata kuwa, basi watu wa maeneo bunge ama wakazi wa maeneo bunge hawataweza kupata uwakilishi na kusaidiwa na serikali kuu?
Nafikiri katika eneo bunge kuna kitu kinaitwa CDF committee. CDF committee ambayo imechaguliwa kusimamia rasilimali ambazo zinakuja katika eneo bunge. Kwa hivyo sidhani eti kwa sababu hakuna mbunge hakuna pesa zinaenda. Pesa zinaenda, ni wale wanaosimamia labda ndio hawawekitili maanani yale mambo ambayo kukiwa na mbunge anaweza kutilia maanani. Pia wawakilishi wodi wana basari ambayo wanapeana. Gavana ana basari yake. Women rep ana basari yake. Senator pia ana basari. Kwa hivyo ikiwa hela hizi zote tumekuwa tukiimba, na ni kama kuna vitisho fulani rais anapewa ama serikali kuu inapewa, mpaka inaogopa kuchukua pesa hizi zote na kuweka katika wizara ya elimu. Kwa mfano, ikiwa hela hizi za CDF ambazo zinaenda katika basari, hata kama ni 30% ama hata 40%, ichukuliwe iwekwe katika shule ambazo ziko pale, ama ipeanwe katika wizara maalum ambayo inashughulikia, na tufanye elimu ikue elimu bila malipo. Inawezekana kwamba mtoto ataenda shule na arudi nyumbani na kamilisha masomo yake bila kusumbuka. Hela hizi zinapoteremka, ujue ndivyo zinavozidi kuibiwa ama zinazidi kupungua. Ikiwa imetoka serikali kuu ikiwa milioni 100, ujue zitafika katika shule hizo zikiwa milioni 40 ama 50.
Kumaanisha kutakuwa na ubadhirifu,
kuna ubadhirifu mkubwa sana ambao unatendeka. Kwa hivyo tukizingatia sheria, na inasemwa kila wakati, hata rais mwenyewe alisema, ikiwa wabunge, na mbona hachukui hatua kuja na bill katika, unajua cabinet ama baraza la mawaziri likiketi na liamue na lilete bili katika bunge na iambie wabunge, sasa bill ndio hii imekuja, tuweke pesa hizi zote za basari pamoja katika wizara ya elimu. Walimu wanajua wale watoto hawajiwezi katika shule, wanajua Hata sisi tuko wazazi tunapigiwa na mwalimu, oh, tuko na mtoto mmoja katika darasa fulani ameshindwa kulipa karo, tuchange. Tunachanga hata kwenye WhatsApp na tunasaidia mwanafunzi. Kwa hivyo mbona tuchange na serikali na pesa ambazo zinatumiwa katika ubadhirifu? Kwa hivyo serikali hii na serikali zijazo, jinsi ambavyo ndugu yangu anasema, tulikuwa vijana na unajua kijana pia uzeeka. Mwaka wa 92 Mheshimiwa William Ruto alikuwa kijana, na hata nakumbuka hayati Raila Odinga akisema wakati wa wazee kuondoka waondoke, ni wakati wa vijana. Lakini mwenyewe pia alijipata amezeeka. Kabla hatujakimbia ujana, tuna vijana majambazi na tuna wazee majambazi. Tuna kina mama wazuri na kina mama majambazi. Tuna walemavu wazuri na walemavu majambazi ambao wanafanya ubadhirifu. Kitu ambacho tunastahili kupigania ni kitu kinaitwa integrity katika nchi yetu. Mtu umepewa majukumu ya kushika mali ya umma, utumie mali ya umma vizuri. Tunawajua vijana wako hapa, wanajua mtu ambaye alichaguliwa akiwa hana kitu, na sasa hivi ameweka magari mashangingi makubwa pale nyumbani mengi, na unajua mshahara wake yeye ni mwakilishi wodi na ana shilingi 1,150, na ikiondolewa zile pesa zote zinatolewa, anabaki na shilingi 1,100. Swali ni ametoa wapi gari linalotoshana hivyo? Mali anayomiliki, nyumba anazijenga, na wajenzi ni kina nani? Ni wazee, ni hawa vijana. Kwa hivyo wanajua wezi ni kina nani, wanajua wahalifu ni kina nani. Sasa Malava kuna kupigana. Kasipul, Kabondo, unasikia huko wanapigana. Ni wazee wanapigana? Vijana. Nimemwona tu mzee mmoja labda akimshikashika shati, na mzee huyu anajulikana vizuri.
Kikomo kidogo. Peter, nyinyi vijana mmekuwa mkitazama matukio ya jinsi kampeni zimekuwa zikipigwa humu nchini hadi hivi leo ambapo tutakuwa tunabaini mbivu na mbichi. Je, kutokana na hizi kampeni na sasa uchaguzi wa sasa na vile tunavyoshuhudia mambo katika vyombo vya habari ama kwenye vyombo vya habari, ni nini haswa nyinyi vijana mnajifunza kutokana na uchaguzi wa huu mchakato?
Hii uchaguzi inatufunza kitu moja kama vijana. Ya kwanza, kujiandaa mapema kwa ajili ya 2027. Maana tumeona kama hujajiandaa kuna ile shida ambayo inatokea, ambapo kama wewe kwa mfano pale Magarini kuna huyu kijana wa DCP na huyu wa ODM. Huyu wa DCP kulingana mahali ametoka, mimi namjua ni maskini. Huyu wa ODM ni tajiri kulingana vile namjua. Sasa huyu tajiri ukishika mkono na matajiri, na wewe maskini kijana hautaweza kupenya. Lakini ukishika mkono na wale vijana wenzako na wananchi wenyewe utashinda. Kwa hivyo hii inatuonyesha tushike wananchi wenyewe mkono, sio matajiri tena. Hiyo ni somo la kwanza ambayo inakuja na hii uchaguzi. Somo la pili ni kwamba ile furugu ambayo imetokea, vijana wajiepushe na mambo ya furugu. Hiyo ni jambo la kwanza, na utegemee Mungu na utegemee wananchi. Furugu haiwezi kusaidia, maana kitu ya kwanza ukilete furugu na kuna possibilities mingi ya kwamba unaweza kuwa disqualified, maana sheria hairuhusu mwanasiasa yote ajihusishe na mambo ya furugu. Omba kura yako kwa njia ya amani na ukitumia haki. Hiyo ni jambo la pili. Jambo la tatu ambao unaweza soma kutokana na uchaguzi ni kwamba ukitaka kujijenga kisiasa kama kijana, usitarajie mtu atoke mahali kwingine akuja akufanyia kampeni, ambapo kuna makosa fulani ambayo kama vijana tumekuwa tukiangalia kwa maeneo tofauti, ambapo wewe unatoka Kilifi unaenda kukampeni huko unamaliza mwezi mzima kama wiki mbili. Hiyo ni kumaanisha wale viongozi wa pale hawaaminiki tena. Yaani wewe unatoka kule unaenda kukampeni mahali fulani. Sitaki nitaje na mtu, lakini imeshuhudiwa. Unatoka kwako unaenda kukampeni pale na wenye pale hawezi kubalika kampeni pale. Kwa hivyo ile tabia zao, kumaanisha tabia zako ziko na uozo fulani, ambapo wewe huwezi simama mbele ya watu ukakampenia yule kiongozi wako ambao unamtaka. Lazima utoe mtu nje, alete pesa, afanye yale maovu ambayo anajua akitoka pale hautalaumiwa, yale atalaumiwa, maana si wa huko. Hiyo tabia moja ambayo tumeikemea kabisa kama vijana. Mimi nawakilisha vijana wengi na kwa niaba yao naikemea. Si mzuri kabisa.
Bwana Meli, Tukiangalia uchaguzi wa Malava ambapo wakati ule mwenda zake Moses Malulu Njendi alipoaga dunia, alikuwa sana anaweza kupigania maslahi ya wakulima wanaokuza miwa kwa ajili ya kuweza kutengeneza sukari. Je, unaona kwamba yule ambaye anakuja ama yule ambaye atashinda, iwapo ni David Ndakwa UDA ama Seth Panyako, yote yule ambaye ataweza kushinda, je, unaona kwamba akizingatia sana swala la wakuzaji, manake ndilo zao la kibiashara ama ukipenda cash crop ambalo linazingatiwa sana katika eneo hili na pia ikizingatiwa kwamba linaweza kuchangia 15% ya pato jumla la serikali?
Mimi ninaona kwamba ikiwa watamchagua yeyote kati ya wale wanagombea, mtu huyo amekuja wakati mzuri sana, wakati ambapo mambo ya privatization inafanywa, ubinafsishaji wa kampuni nyingi za sukari, na wanastahili kumchagua mtetezi, sio kuchagua tu mtu ama chama, kuchagua mtu ambaye anaweza kuwa mtetezi wao katika mambo kadha wa kadha. Kumbuka ana jukumu kubwa ambalo ni representation, na eneo bunge lote haliwezi kuketi chini ili kuamua jambo. Huyu ambaye anaweza kufika katika meza ya mazungumzo, meza ambapo maamuzi mengi yanafanywa kuhusu jambo hilo. Kwa hivyo nakumbuka kwamba wale viongozi wamekuwa mbeleni, waliona viwanda hivyo vikianguka na hawakuwatetea. Kwa hivyo huyu anayeingia aingie na atetee kampuni hizo zifufuliwe. Ikiwa zinafanya binafsishwaji, watu wahusishwe, wakulima wahusishwe, na ikiwa anaona kulingana na yeye njia nzuri ambayo wanaweza kuchukua ili mtu wa kawaida afaidike. Haitakuwa vizuri kuwa na kampuni ambazo zimelala na watu wanamiwa kwenye mashamba. Kuna watu wameng'oa miwa, wamebadilisha, wameanza kupanda mahindi. Kuna wengine wameanza kupanda mazao mengine tofauti. Kwa hivyo na eneo hilo ndilo ambalo litaamua mustakabali wa taifa hili katika kuuza sukari katika nchi za kigeni. Unaona sasa rais anatuambia kwamba, ama kulingana na takwimu ambazo zimetoka, ni kwamba tumepunguza uagizaji wa sukari kutoka nje kwa asilimia kubwa sana. Kwa hivyo ikiwa kampuni hizi zitaamshwa na huyu mtetezi wao aingie, waangalie kwamba wamemsukuma ili pia asiende alale. Unajua kuna wale ambao wanachaguliwa kisha wanaitwa na waegezaji wale kwenye meza, wanapewa kitu kidogo kisha wananyamaza. Tabu za wananchi zinaongezeka, ila hali wananchi wenyewe hawafaidiki, na yeye anafaidika kwa kupata mlungula. Kwa hivyo watafute mtetezi, watafute mtu ambaye hata wenyewe anakuja kwao kwa maoni.
Samahani kidogo, kuna jambo ambalo ningependa tugusie kidogo, manake tunaambua muda umeyoyoma. Tuna kijana hapa chipukizi Peter Ngui ambaye anasema kwamba vijana hawashuki mkono. Tunaona katika maeneo ya Mbere kaskazini ambapo naibu wa rais alikuwa pale. Kwa hivyo vijana wakiona kwamba labda wale ni wagombeaji huru ama wawaniaji huru, wakiona kwamba kuna wale ambao wanajiita makuhani wa kimaeneo, kwamba Bwana Gachagua kwamba pia anataka aonekane kwamba yeye ni kuhani wa eneo hilo la mlima, na pia naibu wa rais Bwana Kindiki akiona wa vijana wakimwona akisema ni wamodende si wamodende, fire si fire, wanaingiwa na uoga. Wewe kama mchanganuzi wa masuala ya kisiasa na mtaalamu wa uongozi, je, maoni yako ni yapi?
Kuna vijana ambao wamechaguliwa hata bila kushikwa mikono na vigogo wale. Kuna vijana, kwa mfano seneta wetu wa Trans Nzoia Alan Chesang ni kijana amechaguliwa kwa na umri wa miaka 27. Sasa labda juzi nimeona ameoa, kwa hivyo amefikisha karibu 30 hivi tangu achaguliwe. Kuna vijana kama Peter Salasia, kuna vijana kadha wa kadha katika bunge hili la sasa. Kwa hivyo kushikwa mikono, unajua usipoegemea chama inamaanisha unajiweza. Kwa hivyo vyama vinakuja, vinaleta uzito wao kusaidia yule ambaye ana uzito. Lakini tuna political parties, inaitwa Political Parties Funding Act, ambayo ikiwa umeshinda sasa vyama wale ambao wamesimama wanapewa pesa fulani, lakini serikali hivi karibuni imesema kwamba haina hela za kupeana. Kwa hivyo nadhani imebidi wajikaze, but ukiangalia sehemu ya Baringo kuna huyu kijana anaitwa Chemitei na kuna vijana wengi wa vyama tofauti wameshikwa mikono na wanazidi kusaidiwa na wale vigogo. Kwa hivyo kusema kwamba vijana wametupwa, hiyo ni dhana potovu. Hiyo ni dhana, kwa sababu kama hujejitokeza unataka kushikwa mikono vipi? Kama hujesema leo kwa mfano ungetaka kuoa, unajua wazee hawezi kutoa ng'ombe zao kuambie peleka kwa mahari na wajaona mke umemshika ama mchumba wako ni fulani wa fulani. Kwa hivyo vijana, jitokezeni katika siasa, kujeni, lakini mjue siasa ni chafu, ni mchezo mchafu na mwe tayari kuchafuka. Ni kama kucheza na nguruwe kwenye matope. Kwa hivyo ni mchezo mchafu. Unaona uchafu wote ambao unaendelea kwa sasa, lakini kuna maeneo ambayo yameonyesha utulivu, yameonyesha ukomavu fulani kisiasa. Kwa hivyo vijana wa maeneo hayo pia kuna vijana kule, kwa hivyo pia wameonyesha ukomavu. Tuonyeshe ukomavu katika siasa, tuangalie kwamba hao wanaokuja wana interest zao, wana nia zao fulani katika kukomaza siasa za chama. Kwa hivyo ikiwa ungetaka kama kijana kushikwa mkono, kuja na chama. Ikiwa utakuja ukuwe independent inamaanisha wewe uko huru. Kwa hivyo huhitaji msaada wa mtu yeyote. Unataka tu wapiga kura wasimame nyuma yako.
Naam. Asante sana Bwana Meli, kwa sababu ya muda hatutaingia ndani sana, lakini najua kwamba ipo siku, manake Mola akitujalia pia kutakuweko pia na kikao kama hiki. Na mtazamaji, tumefika tamati ya mahojiano yetu. Kwa sasa tutakuwa tunampisha mwenzetu John Jacob Kioria ambaye atakuwa anaendelea na hili swala la kuweza kuchanganua na pia kuweza kubainisha hali ilivyo katika maeneo mbalimbali ya chaguzi ndogo ambazo zinaendelea. Na kumbuka kwamba wanahabari wetu wako katika maeneo mbalimbali kuweza kutuletea jinsi mambo yalivyo. Tunaye Adan Ibrahim ambaye yuko katika eneo bunge la Banisa, na pia katika eneo la Kasipul tunaye Wycliffe Okech, na pia katika eneo la Baringo tunaye Ben Chumba, Magarini tunaye Kasichana Masha, na Ugunja tunaye Achola Simon, Malava tukiwa naye Timothy Kipunusu, na katika eneo bunge la Mbere North tunaye Ben Troy Njue ambaye watakuwa wakituletea tu jinsi mambo yalivyo, na tutakuwa tukiweza kujua mbivu na mbichi baadaye leo ama hapo kesho asubuhi. Na mtazamaji, tukomea hapo kwa sasa. Kwa heri, Mola akubariki.
Both we come from United Kingdom.
Even you?
Yeah.